Hey everyone, welcome to the Dragon's Lair. It's Wednesday night. Thanks for joining us. I hope everybody is doing wonderful. I appreciate everybody hopping in here. I do see Marco, Joe, Miranda Keith, Kelly's Mismash, Ramsey Silent, Mo Patty, and Mr. Mouse in here so far. I appreciate everybody hopping on here. We're going to bring our special guest in, somebody that probably doesn't need much of an introduction. I'm sure you all know him well. Please welcome to the stage, Rob from Rob's Nerdy Knives. Rob, thanks thanks so much for hanging out with us and coming on tonight. We really appreciate it. It's an honor to have you as a guest here. And congratulations on 11K, man. I was part of your celebration last night, and that's a huge achievement. I mean, we're scratching for 500 right now, but we grew like this in 3 months, so
that's pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing all right, so not bad. But so, what's it like, man? What's it like getting to 11K? Like, it's got to be an accomplishment for you.
Well, can I ask a question that might be the same but different? What's more impressive, the 11K or having 4.5 million views?
I don't know. I think they're both pretty impressive. I kind of blew me away when I checked the other day that it was a 4.5 million views. I thought that was kind of good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know other channels, friends that I have that they will have way more subscribers, but maybe not as many views. But then some people have way more views and not as many subscribers. So it's all relative to your audience, right? And to the folks. To me, it's all about community. And I've said that since the get-go because my oldest son was the one who got me started on this whole thing. He said, you should do a channel. And I thought, okay, well, I don't know anybody will watch it, but I'll sure, why not? So I did. And I put a video together 3 months. I dropped it, got a few views, and I thought, okay. And I thought, well, I should do another video. And next thing you know, I watched this video from Think Tank. They talk about if you're going to do YouTube, do a video every day for 30 days. Don't stop. Do that at the beginning. If you can do it one video every day, even if it's a short, just do one video every day. I thought, okay, I'll try that. And lo and behold, you just kind of keep going and people started watching and I was surprised, but it is all about community for me. That's what it is. I love knives. I love everything. I get nerdy about it. There's no question about that. But ultimately that's what drives it. And that's, the slow and steady. And I'd rather have that than blow up on a viral. I'm not that I'm saying no to being viral or anything, but I'm just saying to me, I like it because I really get to know the folks and I enjoy that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Chris and I have found that too, is the sense of community here is incredible. It really started to strike us hard at Blade Show last year, walking around Atlanta. And instead of going there with the intent to just buy what we can find that we like, it was more of going there half on business, right? We were launching our company. And at that point it was more about that. So getting into the community and really starting to connect with people was incredible. So,
I remember watching your video, by the way. Now that you say that, and I thought, I was looking back at the videos from Blade Show and I remember your voice and I go, I think I remember watching some of his content.
I think you probably saw me on Unprofessional Dad's channel because I don't think we even had anything. We didn't have social media when we went to Atlanta.
No,
so I mean, like I said, we are really, really new, Rob.
Have you been to any other Blade shows at all?
Yeah, none of the other ones in the country, but that's the second time that we were in Atlanta.
Okay, because your voice sounds familiar. So maybe I misunderstood the voice, or maybe I just heard you elsewhere. But I thought you did possible.
A video. He has the voice of an angel. I get it.
Daddy Wyvern in the house. How's it going? That's my dad, by the way, Rob. So he's in here hanging out with us.
Nice.
And
hello to Mr. Senior Vern. Is it Wyvern or how do you?
Yeah, it's Wyvern.
Wyvern.
Stacy Bolster Blades in the house.
Hey, Stacy.
Titanium Justin. Hey, TJ. Appreciate you coming in. Dragoon. Paul Mills in the house. What's up, Paul? Mick Ranger. Let's see. Did I miss anyone here? No. Okay, cool. So before we get started on everything, I think we kind of have a pretty important message to discuss with everybody. And that is that one of our own in the community has been hit with something that none of us ever want to happen. If you don't know Lefty EDC, Kevin Johnson of Devo Knives, his account was hacked. He unfortunately got a really interesting email that was aligned to something he was looking at, microphones like these right here on my shirt, and they asked if he was interested in reviewing some microphones with them, and he happened to be interested in microphones, and so he clicked on the link that they sent him to collaborate, and it took over his Google account, and they took over his YouTube, his email, and everything else. And so one of our own is pretty much out of commission right now while he's trying to recover. I've spent a good portion of the day reaching out to a ton of contacts of mine, trying to find a path forward for him. And Chris and Rob are both in the same or similar industry that I am, and that's, telecommunications, cybersecurity, IT, that kind of networking background. And so this really hits home for us in that sense. And I feel like this is a really important thing that we have to just make a public service announcement, if you will, right? Please, please, please be super careful. In this day and age, these people are sleazeballs, and they will stop at nothing to take over your stuff and utilize you for terrible things. And that means if you have an option to do 2 or 3-factor authentication, make sure you're doing that. Make sure that you're changing your passwords if you have any alerts or anything like that. Make sure that you use good, complicated, strong passwords, that you're not using the same password for every system across the board. Okay? If you need to, use a password generator system or something like that, but please, we ask you because we're all very aware of what this stuff does, and it's just super important. So please be careful out there. Please make sure that you're covering your backside, that you're doing the things that you need to do to protect your systems, your stuff.
Yep. Yeah, they'll never crack my code at password 2. So
I hate you sometimes. Cat Scratch. Hey, buddy. Thanks for jumping in.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4. No.
Yeah, if you go 5, they'll never think of that. That's far too aggressive.
So I can tell you for application servers, we have minimum 30 character passwords, alphanumeric character with special characters, and my personal passwords are at least 15 plus characters. Most of them are well above that, and they're alphanumeric with special characters. So you always want to make sure it's something complicated and not easy discernible.
Song lyrics. Your favorite song, type it out.
You just something that's not going to be quickly cracked, and make sure watch those suspicious emails, man, because they're getting really good. They're getting really good. And where I work, we get some very sophisticated point of attacks.
Absolutely. And Rob, I mean, in cybersecurity, and I know you know this, but what is the biggest vulnerability in cybersecurity? It's the people. Yes. Right? It's the people that are there that click on emails, that don't verify where things are coming from and stuff like that. And so just don't be a statistic in what has become really an epidemic of ridiculousness in cybersecurity world. And Kelly, why people do crap like this? So let me tell you how I woke up this morning. I woke up and I checked my YouTube, and there's Lefty's channel online running a Bitcoin live platform. Okay. Now, I don't know how many total subscribers that Lefty had, but he had at least 30,000, probably far more than that. Okay. So they have a built-in audience. He's a target because he is a bigger personality. Okay. And he has an audience that just means that it's easier for them to reach with minimal work. And why do they do it? Because the more that they can get is the better. A lot of these things come from overseas. What we uncovered is it looks like they used a proxy through Italy to get him. So it's these foreign countries have, truthfully, like there's companies in Pakistan, there's companies in the Maldives Islands and stuff like that, where literally they're legitimate businesses, full office buildings of people that just do this crap.
They
right?
find it reputable.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's true. And so that's why things like this are happening. So I saw William Hornbostel in here. Hey, William, how's it going, buddy? The Bumble Shay. Shay, thanks for hopping on here. So yeah, it's
William.
It
We'll definitely pray for your sister.
Oh, did I miss something? I'm sorry.
William said just got a scary message from his sister. He's going to ask for us to pray for her. Her name's Laura.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We definitely prayers for Laura, my friend. That's
Sure.
That's never good getting messages like that for sure.
No.
So
well, we're not here to bring you guys down, right? We're here to entertain and have good conversation and fun and talk about the things that bring us all together, and that's sharp, pokey things that we like. So let's go ahead and do that.
you know what? I could kick this off. We didn't talk about this, Sam, but I want to show a disasters thing. Well, not disasters. It's a terrible thing, I think. So I decided to go get a new PM2, and it was listed as S45V in the comments, but the picture said S30V, but it was like $10-15 less than what an S30 would have been, right. And it came in as S45. Let me show you the tragedy that happened with it.
You talking about the clip?
Criminal.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. That's barbaric.
That's standard from Spyderco now. They ship with the blade down. Yeah, every one of my Spydercos have come in, including my salt.
That's inhumane.
This came in.
This is my first.
If you look at my unboxing. It was the clip was down here, and that's kind of standard.
I was going to change it, and as soon as I pulled her down, I went to flick it. I was like, "What's wrong with this?" And then I was like, I got to change this right away. And then I thought, no, we're going to be on live tonight. Sure. I'm going to hold off and do my best to ignore it. And it's been killing me all day. Yeah.
I can't stand
man.
it.
Sever I get a knife like in the house. What's up, Sever? Thanks for jumping on here, buddy.
Hey, Sever 7.
Dale Lane. How's it going, Dale? Appreciate you hopping on with us. So yeah, that's
annoying.
Not right.
No. It's kind of like I think Hinderer's come in like that too. I think Rick Hinderer, he sends his like that, and I switch those clips right away. They just annoy the heck out of me. I get some people love it. Not my cup of tea though.
No,
yeah, I've got
a single knife like that.
Yeah, I bought the SOCOM Elite, and I wanted to love it, and it only does and so or tip down. So when I was trying to put it in my pocket, like the second day of carrying it, I'm shoving it down, and it got caught up and just cut into my leg, and I was just like, never again. Yeah,
like that, James.
Well, terrible.
The new SOCOM Elite is with the ram lock is tip down. Thank goodness.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask everybody in the comments if you happen to be a tip down or tip up fan. Let us know.
We can throw people out that have the wrong answer, right?
Yeah, we want to get to 500, but we will unsubscribe you. Yeah.
There you go.
You know, just so you all know, right? really cool. This week, we have had some really nice growth, and we are at 498 subs. We are close to that 500. I mean, we are just right there, just missing it. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, please give us a sub here. We have an awesome giveaway that we're going to be doing when we get to 500, and you know, it can happen next week if we can get to 500 in the next couple of days. You know, I want to make sure that everybody knows it's coming. I don't want to just drop it the night before. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please give us a subscribe, and don't forget to hit the like button on this video for tonight. We'd appreciate that as well.
And good news, with the exception of Dale, everybody's is tip up, but Dale's horizontal, so that's still acceptable to me.
Yeah, that's you get a passing grade, Dale. Well, we're all right with horizontal.
That's how I carry my fixed blades. I do horizontal.
Oh yeah, I love that. Scout carry is fantastic.
Yeah.
So Chris, I know before when we were talking, you had some questions, or you had some ideas of questions that you were curious to talk to Rob about. So yeah, I'll let you start it off, man.
Yeah, you know, I found your channel a few years ago when I was on a Leatherman kick, and I was searching for stuff, and I saw a couple of reviews that you did, and that's how I came across your channel. And so I've been a subscriber for probably, you know, right at 3 years or so. And
wow, thank you.
I haven't seen them all, but I have seen dozens, 3 digits probably. So, you know, I really appreciate it. I know you said your son encouraged you,
right?
But
SC Knife Monkey.
What was that passion that got you going? Is it something that you guys shared together? Was there a specific knife, a specific event? What was the thing that led you to go ahead and start reviewing?
So, my first knife I ever bought was a Gerber Easy Out back when I was 19 years old. So I still have it. I'm not going to get rid of it because it's a USA made blade, but it's not great. But I've had it forever. I used to carry it in the car, carried wherever. But my son, he got old enough. I bought him a pocket knife because he really was into it. And, you know, so he carried pocket knives, and I finally got a CRKT from Cabela's. It was a decent one. It was Aus 6 steel. I thought that was really high end steel back then. And nice. So I was like, oh man, Aus, you know, Japanese steel. That's great. So I bought that, and then I got suckered in. I went by the stand, and they had the Mini Barrage Cabela Special in bright orange, and I was like, oh, that thing looks amazing. It had D2 steel.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was my first big premium knife. So I got that, and I started talking to my son about it. He liked it. He thought it was cool, and he and I started sharing quite a bit about it. And then I started buying a bunch of Benchmates. Like what happens to most of us, you find one maker that you like, and you probably buy everything that they have. You get a little overboard. You're like all on board with them. I bought just about every Benchmade. Then I discovered ZT, and then I discovered a few other ones. And I thought, oh, these are all amazing knives. And lo and behold, you start branching out. But over that period of time, he liked the discussions we had, talked about sharpening different things. And so I eventually bought him a brand new wallet and a knife for graduation when he graduated college. I felt like every one of my sons was going to have that. So he was the first one for college. I did that for him. I did it for my 2 twins who graduated high school as well. I didn't do it for my son when he graduated high school just because I wasn't quite into knives back then.
Yeah.
That kind of started it. We got into knives, we talked, and he said, you know, you would ask me questions, and I started really, you know, getting into like, oh, there's different steels. Why are there different steels? You know, and I really like the design of the knives. So to me, that kind of got me all excited that there was more to a knife than it's a blade that cuts, right? There's design, there's engineering, there's thought, there's artistry, there's utility, there's functional, and they're the best fidget spinners. And I'm like, if you didn't know, I seem very calm, but I'm treated, if you will, but I'm a 10-10-10 on the ADHD scale, if you know how that's diagnosed. So I excelled. And normally I'm bouncing all over the place. If I wasn't, I would giving you 10 different stories at the same time here, and you would be exhausted and have no idea what I'm talking about. But
I have a tendency to do that myself. I get it.
yes.
Hey, Patty, thanks for hopping on. Good to see you.
So that got me into knives, and that's how it all started, just pretty much like that. And it snowballs. It keeps growing and growing.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. My first knife was as a kid. I mean, my father handed me a buck 110. I come from a hunting family, and I still have that buck upstairs in a hunting bag. He probably still carries one himself. I mean, it's just like old faithful, trusty companion type of thing. Never let me down, and I'll bet you he probably still has that. So he carried that or Schrade. I don't remember which one it was, but lock back. Both looked the same, brass bolsters, the whole ordeal. And that was really my start with knives. When I got older, and I bought knives that looked cool, but gas station trash, right? And Chris and I connected many years ago, and then I was living in New Jersey. He was living in Indiana, and my wife used to work for Chris, and so that's how we met, was through my wife. And Chris and I found that we are two peas in a pod with interests and personality and things like that. So we immediately connected. When we moved to Indiana, Chris and I started, going shooting together, and then it was, knives and stuff like that. And we wound up taking a crazy road trip. So a few years ago, we were supposed to go to the NRA show in Houston, but it was during COVID, and COVID wound up canceling the show.
I remember that. I was going to go too.
Okay. So Chris and I were like, well, we're still going to road trip. We're just going to do something different. So we drove to Memphis to the pyramid to see the Bass Pro pyramid. Then we drove across Arkansas all the way up to A.G. Russell Knives, and then to Bass Pro Shops headquarters in Missouri, and then back home. Now, before we go to that though, so funny story happens at A.G. Russell. We're going to buy our first good knife. So we're both interested in a Benchmade. He's interested in that was an Osborne, right?
Osborne 940.
Right.
Yep.
And I'm looking at a Bug Out. And we go in there, and the kid shows us how to use this knife. Now, he just flicks it open, flicks it closed. Yeah, look, this is real simple. And here you are, two gargantuan men in the middle of the store going,
close to 600 pounds of man just flying through their, crashing off their glass cases.
Misfits trying to open a crossbar lock. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah, and by the way, Papa Wyvern says he's carrying that same buckle knife.
There you go.
Well, you saw the Buck 110 just recently released a Magna Cut version, which is heat treated really well, and a thinner version with a new clip.
Yeah. So Severn's got a question as well. Can you pin that one up there, Sam?
Fine. Question for all three. If you could receive knives for the rest of your life from a Chinese brand, which brand would you pick? Chinese brand.
My immediate so two of them first popped into my mind, and the first two were Best Tech and Kunlu were the first two that popped into my mind. And Best Tech, because again, I think they do make a good knife, but I think they also have so much variety that comes out. Riot's in the back of my mind there as well, so is Kaiser. But if I had to finalize, you know what, I would probably.
So I think I need some clarification on this, right? Yeah. So are you talking about production models, or are you talking about OEM knives? Because if it's OEM knives, it's between Riot and Best Tech. They're the two best out there on OEMs from China right now. But if you're talking about production, my issue that I have there is that I think things kind of go in waves, right? KB Knives the last 2 years has completely changed their formula and started putting out absolute monsters.
Oh, they have. Yeah, they have.
Right? So, it's just it's such a difficult question to try and hit on.
I think,
and there's go ahead, Rob.
So my first thought for me was knives and Riot, right? That's the first two. But I've not liked Riot last year. About the last year and a half, Riot has really not. Not Riot, excuse me. We has really not produced anything that's really interested me. For some reason, it's been quite underwhelming for me. And I know everybody really want we to go back to doing their crazy designs, and they did, but they were just a little too much for me. I like Riot, and I'm assuming it's OEM and production knives because there's a lot there if you do Riot, obviously. But then Kunwu is a big time contender there, obviously. So you got Kun, and then you got Poi Kilo coming into the mix. They're eclectic and they have some interesting stuff, but functionality wise, I mean, what I've been most impressed with lately, a lot of Kunwu crystallized titanium has been really impressive. They have that glass handle now that I saw at Blade Show. Leon Ma showed a video on that, and I was like, oh. And that's the kind of stuff like Jay Dizzle Design has done as custom scales, and a lot of custom makers will use. So I don't know. It's a tough call. There's three that really are serious contenders, but
yeah,
I guess if I had to pick one, it would be
Sever was clarifying production.
Oh, production.
So, Jim Blaze, good to see you, man. Thanks for hopping in here. J1 Doobie's in here as well. Thank you. For me, I think, I agree with you, Rob. If you were to rewind 3 years ago, my answer would be knives.
Yeah.
If you're talking about current, gosh, I mean, Vostede is crushing it right now. And so is KB. I think I'm a little bit, because I'm a frame lock fanatic, I think probably KB knives right now, like some of the pan-urine stuff that they've been dropping, the Eclipse, absolute banger. The Protocol, absolutely a killer knife. So, I mean, yeah, that's the impossible question, right?
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think? You say Kunwu, or do you think when it comes to production, what's your answer on that?
Man, I hate having to pick one because I'm
Adventure Man.
I probably have 15 concepts. I probably have another 10 Wiis. Yeah, I start looking. Kaiser, it's every week I'm like, I would like one of those and one of those. And you guys brought a Basti, but I think that I feel the knives that I connect with most on the production side is probably Kunwu. Yeah. So that's probably what I'd go with. I've not felt one that I didn't like.
Well, and for me, I was going to tell you with Kunwu, even the ones that I didn't care for, they were just so good that I would carry it still, right? Even if even if it was an aesthetic, I'd go, well, I was loaned one recently and I was like, it's not my cup of tea, but it's still good. It's still a good knife, and it's like,
they do such
I wouldn't turn it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They do such a good job with their heat treats and stuff like that. Yeah. And Sergio's a madman, right? He uses crazy steels. I mean, he was using things that nobody even really knew about and heard of.
Yeah, P60 and all that stuff.
That's crazy. He's just bonk. He's an absolute mad scientist. I wanted to stop for 1 second. OC Omega Stacking 3, 88 followers. If anybody in here is not following OC Omega, go ahead and give him a follow. Let me tell you what this guy does, okay? Every day he puts out a shout-out video for other channels, okay? He just shouts out and appreciates other channels. And he did one for our channel, and I greatly appreciate that. Chris greatly appreciated that. I shared that with him, and I mean, it's super nice. This is just what the community is about. So, let's give the guy some love and make sure that we're giving him a follow back. Let's help him grow. So he's got 88 followers, and let's see if we can't knock him over 100. But
he should have 90 now.
Go ahead and jump on that.
That's awesome. Good job, Rob. I've seen Ramet in here. I've seen Riot. I saw Ventizo, and Sever also said you should let him check out your Jericho.
Oh, that wasn't my Jericho. That was a borrowed one. That was a loaner.
No, Sam's got one, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, Rob, I have Jericho production number 1, the very first one that it was ever created. Yeah.
Wow.
And Dragoon, this is actually kind of an interesting segue to this, right? So Sergio is an interesting character, and he's certainly not. He doesn't tolerate BS, right?
No, he doesn't.
He does not like to be noodled around with and stuff like that. Okay, he's a straight shooter. He's going to shoot from the hip. He's going to say whatever comes out of his mouth. If it insults you, sorry, walk away. You know, he doesn't care. And we met him and Lily at Blade Show in Atlanta, and I saw that Jericho sitting on his table, and I said, I want that knife. He said, not for sale. And I said, everything is for sale. I want that. And he would not give it up. And I literally came back every few hours to the table and bothered him.
We got an extra 10,000 steps a day just walking back to the Kunwu booth.
I bet.
That is true. You go on vacation and I lost weight. How about that? But I bothered the hell out of him no less than 3 or 4 times a day. And eventually, it was the final day of Blade Show, and he finally said, just fine, you know what, you've earned this, I'll sell it to you. And so I got the very first production model, wow. Jericho.
That's cool.
And, you know, Sergio is one of those types of people where he's a hard nut to crack. Your first impression to him is going to last forever. And that's not uncommon with a lot of people, but just so you know, he's really not a bad guy. You know, I'm friendly with him. I've talked recently with him about possibly doing a project with him for design. And, you know, we'll see what comes of that. No promises anywhere, but, you know, I've hammered him about that too. I told him, I want you to make a design. And he said, no, we're not going to do that. And I said, I got to get a design from you. And he said, no, I'm not going to do that. And I said, did you learn nothing from me when I was in Atlanta about how persistent I am? I will annoy the hell out of you until you say yes, or you block me. Which one is it going to be? So we're talking it through.
That's cool.
And he eventually gave it up, and I feel at a very, very reasonable price.
Yeah. I think I paid the market value of what they went for. You know, $300 change or something like that. I mean, he didn't nail me to the cross for it or anything. It was more than fair.
Yeah.
And between us, what did we buy? 4 or 5 knives from them anyway.
Yeah.
So
I think I've bought, how many Kunwus have I bought over the years? I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 at least myself.
I've got more to add. He was saying we bought 4 or 5 at Blade Show this year from him. So
yeah. I thought you were going to say at Blade Show. I was going to say Lair. But hey, Mo Patty, yeah, he tolerates Metal Complex because Metal Complex is a golden goose for him, right? How many Excaliburs can you sell? Let me tell you, the number is 4 digits easily or more. And
it's way over.
Yeah, he's making a ton of money for Kunwu and for himself with that model. And as long as he is the golden goose for Kunwu, I assure you they'll put up with anything with that.
And here's my prediction real quick. The 2-piece construction, the sandwich construction one, and with the compact version now, I think it's going to outsell his integral by 2 to 1, maybe 3 to 1. Having handled that, Richard let me handling it, I can tell you that Vertilock is something unique. It's not like a compression lock. It's different. It is at a 45-degree angle. If you know, it is chamfered. Yeah, it's, if you can see it, it's chamfered on the compression lock, and you can close it left-handed without like a CME in there. I did it during my review. I was like, well, I can't close it left-handed, and I was handling it, and I realized if I hold it, my left hand, my index finger can actually close the lock, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was my one complaint that I was going to have about a Vertilock. I have none now. It's pretty ingenious.
Chris has a Vertilock on a Gringo, and when we were in Atlanta, he had the Geronimo, which is one that's coming out pretty soon from them. That's like a Warncliffe, pretty wild looking Warncliffe that they have worked on. That was the one that we initially saw. I mean, heck, we didn't know that they were going to even be doing a Vertilock in the Gringo
Right.
and that wound up actually beating it to market. So
Does that help or hurt at all?
Yeah, can you show the vertlock? Is yours chamfered too? It's got a like angle?
No, not near as well. I don't think I've got the lighting to be able to get in there.
Yeah.
No, I can't do it. And it's titanium, so it's very heavy. And
Sure.
so as soon as you said you could do it left-handed, I was like, can I do it left-handed? And I was like, not if I want to keep my fingers.
I'm going to put you on big screen here. It's easier to see than these little boxes. So,
okay. So here we are.
Yeah, that's much better. I can see it a lot better on when it's blown up like that.
And I've got plenty of access with my finger here, but if I try to go the other way, I don't have enough purchase on the blade that it'll just drop straight on me. And this thing's already guillotine.
Yeah. So I don't know if Metal Complex is a little different or not, but it had a good access, at least in the compact size. Maybe it's the size of the knife too that might have helped, but I was very impressed with it. I thought, okay, it's just a compression lock. It's a little bit better, I think. So maybe he's refined it a bit from what that is. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on one. That's a really cool. I mean, look, I absolutely love the original Excalibur. So this one kind of, I don't know. I'm getting FOMO that I haven't ordered it yet, but I got to get on that.
I think I'm going to end up getting a carbon fiber one, even though I'm not a much of a carbon fiber guy. But the only reason I don't carry the last one a lot is because, again, even though I got the version 2, the clip still eats up my pants, so I never carry it. I play with it. I cut stuff when it comes into the house, but I never carry it out of the house to use it. So a pocket clip is a huge deal for me.
Oh, it is.
What about you, Rob? Yeah.
So I modified my clip as soon as I got it, right? Did you all know about that?
I did not.
So hold on, I'll grab mine. So I reached out to Metal Complex right away when I was supposed to have gotten one of the prototypes before it was dropped, and I would have made a comment about this, but I think I can share my desktop. Is that okay if I do that for you guys?
Absolutely. Please.
Are you okay if I
absolutely.
Here, where is that? Oh, here it is. I gotta press this. Oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it. I got to press the right button. Here we are. This one. Okay. So if you can see this is the clip right here. I had to file it down. Now I use it, so it's scratched, and I got to refile it again. But if you look here on the side, you'll see the clip. I filed it so it has a single point where it comes in. Also, if you look here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's also filed this way. So it's coming to an apex point like that.
Gotcha.
And it's a smaller point, and it's well before the cutout, because that was cinching up on the pants, and that was kind of being the destruction. And then I polished the bottom, so it's polished. Well, I ended up re-anodizing it because I filed it all down, and I tried the different heat treats to see the different colors, like the regular, traditional blue, went to the gold mix, and then you got the full color, and then you got the more golden color, then you got the green, so the different heat treats. And I thought, okay, which one am I going to go with? And I thought, I'll just leave them all because it looks unique.
Yeah.
So I left it. But that's how I fixed it. And I mentioned that to him, and he liked the idea, but I think Sergio, that's where they decided to go with a different clip. I think it would work better with that. I've actually had that happen with the Urban EDC LC, the Trevor Berger production one from Urban EDC. Mm-hmm. So many people got that knife, and they ended up selling it because the clip was horrible. So that was the first clip I ever actually rounded. I have a Ken Onion belt sharpener with the straps and everything. And so I rounded the clip and fixed the detent on it, and that allowed that to be just kind of money, if you will. And let me go back to my face, so you probably don't want to see.
Good night, Patty. This. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, good night, Mo Patty EDC. Have a great evening. But when I did that, when I got my first actual custom Trevor Berger, of course he does it way better, but everything I did is what he does normally on his full customs. So I was like, okay, I felt a little vindicated. And but that made the knife much more bearable. And I think if you want to keep your clip, you know, if you have the Damascus clip, it is doable if you want to modify. If you have like a Ken Onion work sharp attachment belt sharpener.
Yeah, really cool. I do have one, and I do not have the Damascus.
Yeah. I have a funny story about that if you want to hear that.
Yeah.
I was at Blade Show Atlanta in the pit talking to Princeton Wong because I wanted to get my Grail of Grails, which is the Protean with the dragon scales. I've always wanted that knife for years when he first came out with it.
Me too.
I know. And every time he dropped them, they were like these auction bids, you know, they were just so expensive. I knew they were selling $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 out of my budget. I couldn't even consider him. And he was in the pit, and apparently you have a brown bag that knife makers, I didn't know this. And so they'll bring in a knife. And I asked them, I said, oh, I really want to get to your table tomorrow to try to get one of your dragon scales. So I'm talking to him about the knife for 20 minutes. We're chatting about it. Lo and behold, this guy next to us is talking about his little electric cart. He upgraded to 70 amps so he can drive up in Hawaii up his ramp of his house, and he's talking about all this stuff. And Princeton and his wife are all talking to him, and people are, you know, like all around. I had no idea who I was talking to. I was talking to over 20 minutes, well, total about almost an hour, to Ken Onion. I had no idea it was that. And so when I figured it out, I looked at him like a little kid. I looked at him and I go, I got a work sharp Ken Onion sharpener. And he looked at me like, I felt like he was going to go, that's a good boy. You know? It was embarrassing but funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks for coming in, Lance. Appreciate you. Ground Fog, good to see you, man. That's fun. We met Ken Onion as well, and that's pretty funny. We wandered around, and I have it over here. So I'll blow myself up for a second here to show you. So when we went to Blade Show, we wandered around with a 3D printed model of our knife.
Oh, nice.
Okay, because it's like, cool, I can show you a picture, and that's only going to go so far. But if I can put something in your hand, it's a whole different experience, right? So we had a 3D printed model, and the original model was supposed to be a crossbar lock, but you know, we abandoned ship on that. So thankful that we did. And this was what we carried around. And so we were seeking out experienced people that were, you know, willing to put it in their hands. And I mean, heck, we put it in Tri-State's hand, and we put it in Jared Neves' hand, and Sergio, and anybody that was willing to touch it was, here you go. We went to lunch. We sat down at the table, and the people that were sitting there eating with us at this big round table, I mean, we took them out and we handed them around. Hey, what do you guys think about this? Right? Feedback. And so we went and we saw Ethan Becker, and Ethan Becker was, I mean, he's like a classic old man with no filter, which is kind of awesome about him.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, I do. I love people like that.
And I was smitten when I saw him, right?
He was boy crushing.
Yeah, the BK, give me BK anything on the fixed blade, and I'm like, I'll take it. And and the BK2 was probably my first expensive fixed blade that I bought, or what I consider to be expensive.
Yeah. So we put this in his hand, and you know, he put it in his hand, do this, put it in here, choke up, all this kind of stuff, and he looked at it and said, well, what do you think, Mr. Becker? And he puts his finger right here on the choil, and he goes, carve this choil back here so it works better, and don't change an effing thing. Mm-hmm. And he handed it back to us. And Chris and I looked at each other, and we were like, the quote of the weekend that was just had. And we were like ecstatic that, you know, Ethan Becker just told us that he likes our knife, and just fix the choil and don't change a thing. And, you know, not that he's on here watching, but just so you know, Mr. Becker, we fixed the choil.
Yeah. We followed your instructions, sir.
Yeah, I was going to say that when I saw your little demo of the knife, the choil is the first thing I would have picked in. I'm not that I'm like him, but it's what gravitated toward me, and I'm glad that an expert picked that out. It makes me feel like, okay, I'm looking for the right things.
Yeah. So I, you know, looking at this, I should move my hand there, right? So looking at that profile next to one another, essentially this really was a trigger grip at best right there. And we just realigned it to make a full finger choil here. And now this thing is a choke up machine.
Is it a front flipper too by doing that? Did you?
No, it is not. Unfortunately, it is not. I don't know that this is would do well as a front flipper, and I'll tell you why. The blade thickness on this is a monster.
So, yeah, we're at 4 millimeters.
You can front flip the Excalibur.
Yeah, Fred the Lug showed me that he can front flip that, and I think only crazy people.
Holy cow! I cannot. I can't budge it.
I have tried till my fingers blade. Okay, I mean, all I did was rub it raw on the jimping and nothing more.
So I was over at Jonathan's table and I bought this at Texas Blade Show. I wanted to get a knife from him so badly, and he had all these fancy knives, and he had just brought this back from judging at Texas Blade Show. And I'm sitting there talking to him because we talked about the Dixon before it dropped and everything. And Jamie brings this over and he goes, "Well, what do you think about this one? This is one of those purchases that you made." And thinking about it, I go, "I'll take it." I didn't even ask how much it was. I said, "I'll take it." And I'm like, it's like, and so I did. And then he goes, "Well, you can't front flip a Mac 2. And I said, "What do you mean you can't front flip a Mac 2? Of course you can front flip a Mac 2. And he looked at me and goes, "Okay, I guess you can." So I guess he hadn't till that point at least seen a Mac 2 front flipped. So
yeah,
that's bananas. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty good at front flipping, but I mean, you're not supposed to be able to front flip a Bodacious, but I could do that.
Oh, did you see what I did to my Bodacious? So I kept the carbon fiber scales on there. Look at the nub. I filed it down a little bit. You see that?
Yeah.
And so it's a super easy front flipper now.
Wow.
The nub, it's just super.
Hold on a minute. I gotta blow you up so I can see this a little bit better.
So let me get a regular Bodacious. I'll put it side by side. So here.
Sounds like Sam's coming to play with my tools this weekend.
Oh, I'm so modifying.
So the titanium, I would do it if this was raw titanium and it wasn't aluminum blasted, this titanium scale from Mock Scale. But the carbon fiber, I was going to put the carbon fiber scales on, but as soon as I could do that, I decided I'm going to do that. And it works great because my smoothest Spyderco of all of my Spydercos is my Shaman here with the rock scale designs. But I can this literally feels like butter. It feels, I mean, I think if I can do it just right, I can usually do a reach around on this guy. So it's,
oh my goodness.
But it's
all right. Rob, you're a bad influence to hang out
with. Right there. You get a little bit of that off.
It's awesome. Now.
Super easy.
Yeah, you were already like, I like the Bodacious well enough, but now it's going to change everything.
It did.
Yeah.
It's one it's competing with the Shaman. I think it might, I don't know.
I can't even break.
And the funny part about it is, Rob, I don't have anything with color for the most part in my collection. So the idea that I have a blue anything is bananas because that's the only color I have in my collection that isn't black or gray.
That's pretty much me. I mean, I have a couple. I have this. This is one that I'm thinking I'm going to put custom scales on. I have it because I don't have custom scales yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. But I was asked to check this out.
The mini Yojimbo?
No, the mini. So you guys probably have big giant hands. Here's the micro Jimbo, right?
Yeah,
that's the micro, and it's like a little native. You can get a full grip on there if you choke up, and it's like a little utility knife. It's awesome.
Okay,
but the Yojimbo is pretty nice. I like this one because you can really choke up. There's lots of extra room, and the hollow grind, of course. But
nice.
But it has a blue scales. I did modify my scales. I rounded every edge with the file, right? And I did put a custom clip on there that I thought looked pretty nice. And then I did put a CME on there. And it's a little small. I had to modify the CME to fit it, but that made it really nice, especially if you're a lefty. Because that's what Justin, OCD for EDC, he made the CMEs because he's a lefty.
Nice. Hey, Brown Sugar, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you.
I feel like I haven't said hello to anybody. You guys are saying hello. Hello, everybody. I feel like I should be saying hello.
It's funny. We have not mastered the whole chat group thing yet. So it's like I feel like this thing goes 100 miles an hour past me, and it's like, I don't know where everybody is. I don't know what I've missed. So,
Oh yeah.
Well, it's Dragoon said he's black and green, and I'm all over the board. To me, if I see it and I like it, I get it. I don't have a type. I like them all.
Right. Okay. Hold on a minute here, Rob. We can't let this not happen. So
no, let's be Rob.
Illuminati Ninja, what's up, man? How you doing? Hello, sir. How are you today? Is that good? I feel like I didn't say hello to Dragoon, Mick, Dale, Lance, Brown Sugar, all the folks out there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. When Rob's not running the control boards, it's he's not as put together. So
he's the guest now.
Yeah, it's a challenge keeping up when there's a lot of folks here. You really, it's I try to balance it between reasonableness and a little OCD, feeling like I have to say hello to everyone.
Yeah. Hey. I get that. I get a little panicky with that too. Michael, how's it going, buddy? Appreciate you. Fish bag. I saw you in there as well. Appreciate you hopping in, man. Thank you.
Yeah, Rob, if you could only own one folder for the rest of your life, what are you picking?
So
you want a Blau Rock?
Is that the XL? That looks like the XL.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the XL looks really. I've reviewed the little one. The XL looks like it'd be just a much nicer fit. The little one's
send you one. I've got a couple of them. If you want to review one, I'll loan you one.
Yeah, I reviewed the small one, but not the XL. That would be very interesting. Yeah. Thank you. So if it's one knife, it's going to be both functional and have aesthetics. Right now, my grail of grails is my Protean, especially the way I have it all decked out and stuff. And I keep bugging Princeton for a Timascus backspacer. That would really put it over the top. But he's been doing a lot of Zirconize, so they're not cheap, so I don't want to replace the clip.
Yeah.
But, it would be between the Protean and the Machine Wise. I think the Mojave is right now the nicest, most functional, balanced knife out there for me. Yeah. There's a lot of other great knives, and I went for that dirty washed anno, which I really, really, really dig. Do you have one of the newer ones where they did the milling on the fuller now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got one of the milling, but I want to send it in for the spa treatment and get rid of this stupid thing.
It makes a world of difference. I didn't realize how much it dug into my hand. So if you're a lanyard fan, it's a great lanyard. But if you don't care for the lanyard or it's not as important, getting rid of it is really nice.
It's a pretty big knife. It's a pretty big knife for a lanyard.
It is. And it chokes up really well. And so many people always feel like, well, it feels like it's kind of a weak lock bar. And I'm like, it's not. It's really not. It just feels light, but it locks in there incredibly well. That's the trick with it. The way they tune these knives is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm just missing a Bally from them. I mean, I have an older Sonora. This one's actually a MagnaCut one.
You know why they switched to MagnaCut, away from MagnaCut, right?
No, why?
So I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I got the first past the 600 series because I had some issues with the MagnaCut. I actually had a blade that warped. It's very slight, and only an OCD people would have noticed it. And I did mention it. And the geometry is, if you see the flipper here, it's up higher than it was before. They changed it so there's more leverage to flip. It's ever so slightly inside. I don't know if you can see it. It's just a little bit.
I'm looking at mine, and I'm looking at yours right now, and I can actually see it. It is tilted slightly forward. Yeah, I see it.
And then I modified it by putting a single line of jimping on there. That makes all the difference in the world too, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine. Yeah, mine's an early version. I think I'm number 230 or 232 or something like that is the number on this. So
right.
I'm an early model.
That's cool. So I mean, they're still great. It's still a great knife. I'm not gonna at all, but he changed the geometry because it allowed for a little better snap, a little better flip on there. And I did show him that he's not going to change it, but I got the best compliment of all. Martin said to me, he goes, I don't hate it. So that's as much as a compliment as you're ever going to get from him, which
I
feel
know.
like
I know he's a tough nut to crack.
Oh, he is.
Casey, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for coming in and
Hey, Casey.
and hanging out, saying hello. Appreciate you, my friend. I don't want to steal your thunder, Rob. You can say hello to Casey too.
Casey's here. I mean, we got to give a little shout out to Casey for sure.
Yeah,
appreciate him.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, it was really cool. So he changed the geometry. I got a replacement. They went to the at this time 20 CV, and now they're S90V, which makes me feel like maybe I should get another one just to have an S90V. But kind of like Spyderco, I guess. You know, you get new knives just because of the steel sometimes, but I can't quite justify that because it's a bit expensive.
Do you have a favorite steel?
I will tell you, my initial impression is going to be, and it's very early in the works, very, very early, but I've been using it quite a bit. And ironically, it's as much as I've been using it, it's more than I've ever used this type of knife. I have the OTF from Guardian Tactical with the Magnamax, and that I have not stropped or anything, and I've been cutting cardboard, I've been cutting all sorts of stuff, and the thing my telltale sign is I open letters. Once I've done all that, sometimes the letters start to catch, they start to drag. It's still butter right through every letter, and I'm like, oh, okay, this feels like the Rex 121. I mean, I don't think it's as good as Rex 21, but it's pretty darn good.
I'll be interested to see how that, once you have to sharpen it, what that experience is like, because that's I don't mind sharpening, but some things are an absolute pain. What Casey say?
I'm not sure. I don't think he's talking about your OTF. I think
he's talking about the Sonora, maybe.
Yeah,
I know Casey had a Sonora,
right?
Yeah, the older Sonora wasn't quite as snappy.
Are pretty light. Right, these are pretty light detint on there. There's not a lot of effort to snap these out.
But the newer one it's definitely, as long as you close it, it's definitely got a nicer snap to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm just barely touching it, and not if I do it really hard, then here you can see that.
Yeah.
But if I do it just still pretty snappy for a very light flip. I think the 600 series and above is when you're going to get they consider it like the Gen 2.
Yeah. I'd love to get another one. Really, just one that's not a color. I told you I love black or gray. Mm-hmm. So if I can get one, plus I don't really have. I mean, I have some really, really small, almost micro milling. You can't even really see it on here. I'd love to get one of the new patterns as well. I think that they're newer patterns like the cubes and stuff like that. They look beautiful.
Yeah.
Gunmetal James says Magnamax is not hard to sharpen. By the way. Sorry, go ahead.
I stropped it when I first got it in just to test it out, and then I went to shave my arm, and of course the hair just came off. And then I did the brush over the thumbprint, and I realized I can scrape my thumbprint off just 90-degree perpendicular to it. It was like just crazy, insane sharp. It felt like a brand new Spyderco. You know how they come in?
It's awesome.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hey Casey, if you promise not to stump it, I'll loan you my Mojave to check out if you want, sir.
He can't make that promise.
Look, in return, we'll let him stump one of ours. So.
Oh, there you go.
But
I need a video and a picture of this.
Casey did ask if you're going to go to Blade Show, Texas, Rob.
I am. I'll be there, Casey. I'll absolutely be there, and I'll probably come over and say hello if you don't mind. Are you going to have a booth at Blade Show, Texas, like you did last year? Or at least Atlanta?
I don't think so. I think he said yesterday on his live that he was just going to go as a spectator and as a channel instead of as Tempest. So I think that's what his plan is, unless something has changed, Casey. But
okay, that's cool.
That's the last that I've heard, and I'm pretty sure now I'm going to Texas as well. At this point, I was not going to go, then I was going to go. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to book my stuff either the end of this week or next week. Yep.
Awesome.
There you go.
I think Arcane Isaiah's going to be putting he wants to create a pit sort of thing for Texas. So he's going to try to organize something for us again after Friday. So
Israel?
keep an eye out for that. Yeah, Israel. Sorry. I got get the names mixed up. But Israel is
You're good. You're
yeah,
good.
from Art, he's going to be doing that. So keep an eye out for that. My wife is going to be there. So I will actually getting a shirt for her called Rob's Nerdy Wife. She's super excited about that.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to buy anything.
I'll have to sell some stuff if I'm going to buy stuff, or hope people will say, "Would you like to borrow this?" Yes, I would.
You know, I got about 12 hours too late to your sale before Blade Show Atlanta this year. And you had 2 or 3 that I was like, I jumped in to look at, like, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. But man, you had some beauties that you sold for Atlanta this year.
And here's the thing: do I want to sell these knives? I tell this to everyone. No. If I had independently wealthy, I didn't have 2 kids in college, I wasn't trying to do a channel, I would probably have 6 or 8 cases over here of knives. I'd have 600-700 knives in my collection, but I'm not, and I have kids in college, and I want to do new content. So I constantly go through what is something I want to keep but don't want to let go. What is a knife that stays, and what is a knife I may love, but I'm being willing to part so I can continue to have more content. And that's the struggle I deal with. There's knives I've sold that I would like to buy again. You
had either a hinder, a regrind, or a reblade, one of the 2 that I was just like, I want that so badly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so it's interesting that you just mentioned hinderer as this question pops up from Sever7. What is a popular knife that you don't like or don't understand the hype? For me, I don't particularly care for hinderers. I don't disrespect them in that they aren't a quality knife or something like that, but handling them just doesn't do it for me. I just don't feel the reason why hinderers are so great. And I'm sure that they're great quality knives. Rick Hinderer's very successful for a very valid reason. But that would probably be the most popular knife for me that I would say is an answer for me.
Yeah. You have one, Rob?
I do. It's one more than the other, but the 2 are kind of neck and neck. Emerson and Strider. I don't get them. I don't get them. I know they're part of, one of them is at least part of the Holy Trinity and all that stuff. Is Emerson part of the Trinity? I know Strider is. I don't think Emerson is. I think
Emerson is not.
It's Chris Reeve.
Thanks for
Chris Reeve, Hinderer, and Strider.
Strider.
Yeah, but I don't like them. I mean, I appreciate them. I appreciate the quality and everything. They just don't appeal to me. But Chris Reeve, I very much like. Some of them I'm not a huge fan of, but I like a lot of them. So I mean, that's kind of where that would be one of the knives that I don't quite get the hype on.
On the which one was it? The Strider or Emerson?
Emerson's probably going to be the first one. It'd probably be Emerson.
Yeah.
Now, Strider for sure. I get right. When you bought your Chris Reeves, we were talking to that guy and touching Striders and whatnot. And I didn't see why they wanted, what was it, $900 for that?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Todd Carr in the house. What's up,
hey,
buddy?
Yeah. And Strider's the one for me too. I want to like them. I just, if someone gifted me one, it would stay in my collection. But everyone that I've touched, it's been, off center. It's not understood the action. I think it was probably outstanding when it came out, but it doesn't feel modernized to me in a way that I can appreciate.
Now, it's not Strider, but it's what's the other one? The one I call the love child you want between Rick Hinderer and Strider. What is that? The other one starts with an S. Another knife maker.
Between Hinder and Strider?
Yeah, I call it if Strider and Hinder had a love child that you wanted, this would be the knife. And it starts with an S. Not Strider. I used to, now I can't. I would always call Strider that. Who's it?
Dwayne? What's his name?
No, Dwyer. No, that just looks like another Strider.
Yeah. So I was going to say they just came out with Spartan blades.
Oh, Spartan. Yeah.
Yeah. So Spartan came out with a new knife design. I thought Strider was coming out with a new knife too, a new design, didn't they? at the SHOT Show. I thought I saw that.
I did see something on that. You're right.
Yeah,
they did say
that looked
they were
interesting. It was going to be on cage bearings
Chris
too.
has a Spartan, right? And
yeah, I've got a Harcy.
Yeah,
I've got a Harcy. I really like it.
That's nice. It's a great knife.
Yeah, they're the laser engraving that they do is outstanding.
It is. That's one of the knives I sold that I would like to get back in my collection. Right, that's one of those I would replace if I could.
So I traded for a 3 1/4 inch Harcy. Hold on, Chris. Let me blow you up here so that it's a little easier there.
Am I upside down with it? Maybe. Yeah, it's actually the Sparta theme on it. So
right.
Yeah, that's nice. The 300 theme. It's a sweet knife, and I got the 3 1/4 in a trade on Blade Bench, and I thought I was getting the full size one. So when I got it, I was so disappointed at who shrunk my Spartan, and I wound up actually, whoever owned it just banged it up. I mean, like, it was not what was advertised to me. The blade had a really funky spot on it. The block bar was bent in.
They didn't disclose any of this in the listing? Did you let Eric know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And however they handled it. I mean, it's not, look, first off, when it came to the trade, I beat the dude regardless. I mean, he traded terribly for it. So at first, I really didn't even believe it was real when I got it because of the way it came. So I reached out to Spartan and I said, hey, I'm not even sure, like, if this is a knockoff or something. Like, they said, can you send us a picture? And I said, sure. And then they said, no, that's legit, and that's one of ours. Here, send it to us. We'll fix it all up. We'll clean it up. We'll do everything, and then we'll get it back to you. I sent it out on a Monday, and I got it back on a Thursday. They overnighted it to me.
No way.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't charge me a dime. Not a cent. And I disclosed that I got a secondary market and everything. So, I mean, I wasn't hiding anything from them. And Kim there was absolutely stupendous to work with. And they backed everything up, put a fresh edge on this thing. I mean, it was spectacular.
Wow.
And, really at that point, it was really not a bad knife. But again, it was a 3 1/4. I really thought I was getting a 4-inch. So I did wind up selling it on Blade Bench, but I felt good about myself selling it because I was giving somebody a good quality knife at that.
Sure.
I just wish that I knew said Stevie wanted one for his daughter because I think, or his wife, I'm not sure, but I know he had mentioned it on one of his lives. I would have held it off and gotten it to him.
Yeah, that whoever got it, I'm sure is very happy because I saw it after you got it back, and it was night and day.
Yeah. So I have to ask the guy who's the head of Strider. I forget his name, but I went over and talked to the gentleman. Nick.
Mick.
Yeah. So he was there, the older gentleman, and I was talking to him, and I said, I've got to tell you, this is how I describe the Harcy. I said, it is the love child you want between Rick Hinder and Chris Reeve. It's a love child. And I said, it's because it's got everything of the two knives that I love, yet different, but it has elements that I love about the two knives in one knife. And that's what makes it amazing. So he didn't hate that. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
No, that's not a bad description.
It's a great compliment. I agree. That's, it doesn't have Chris Reeve feel to it, but it also doesn't have that same, it's again, that cross between snappy action and a hydraulic. It's interesting. It's unique. I recommend them.
I'm going to do what I should never do with a Chris Reeve, right? I'm going to have drop shut on there. Oops, sorry. I hit the knife. I can reverse flick it, and I modified my studs, if you could see that. And then I put, of course, a lynch clip on there. And then I tuned the detent on there. And I put a little couple of jimps on the very tip there. So now you can front flip it really nicely.
Well, Tim Reeve isn't going to be a guest now. Thanks. You've blown that for us.
You're an absolute madman. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And yeah, mine does not do that.
Yeah, that's a traditional smooth roll. When I do this, I get people that literally yell at me. It's like, you're not supposed to do that. You're not.
Yeah.
That's not how you open a Chris Reeve. You voided the warranty. And I go, you mean I voided the warranty?
Yeah.
Like that? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I can flip my Sabenza, but I don't like to. I wanted to buy another one just so I don't break it in. I literally counted, and I opened this no less than 100 times every single day for 2 straight weeks, just opening and closing, opening
Right.
and closing, and trying to break it in. And now I go, man, I miss that tough squeeze. And I did a video on it that we posted on the channel where I talked about when we went to Blade Show Atlanta, and this was very early in my knife journey. I'd carried a knife for years, but I wasn't an enthusiast at this point. Admired them, but couldn't understand why anybody would spend a lot of money on them.
Right.
And at that time, my Benchmade 940 was to me the essence of
That's me
knife.
out. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and when Hinder handed me, or not Hinder, excuse me, when the gentleman at the Chris Reeves booth handed me, the knife, and I opened and I closed it and I handed it back to him, I was so disappointed. And I walked away literally thinking, man, Spyderco and Benchmade are just going to eat these guys' lunch. Like I had no idea that, what I was talking about, but I just remembered it didn't feel good. And fast forward a few years later, and now it's just like, man, I love this thing, and now I want another one.
I still have the buttery smooth one. I can still slow roll it. It's buttery smooth for slow roll, so it's still that. It's definitely there. And I did disassemble mine. I did polish my phosphor bronze washers. I did do all of that. I put a fresh fluorinated grease back in there and all that good stuff. So,
nice.
I did do all of that to it. But
yours is cool and unique.
Yeah, it is. And then I discovered Jay Dizzle Designs. He could have put in new inlays on this. He could have put in the antique paper butterscotch micarta or the twill silver carbon fiber or whatever, he could have done all that. I waited like maybe 2.5 years before Blade HQ had a drop that I actually got one of these with the carbon fiber, because that's what I wanted. I wanted the carbon fiber one.
That's really cool. I didn't know there was anybody out there doing those mods. I'm sure they were. I just wouldn't have known who to go to.
Oh yeah, and he does such a great job. He's the one that did the smock for me. The little smock with the. Yeah, I want to get one of those Rex 121 smocks and do that. Oh, by the way, a Lamia.
Oh,
it's a front flipper.
I know that. I don't have one. I have not. So last year, Rob, Chris and
that's sweet.
An obnoxious amount of money on knives. Like, we really have to rethink 2026. So
yeah.
2026 and 2027 and 2028.
So many payments.
So two things. One is being in the pass around group helps a lot, right?
Yes.
It scratches an itch.
It does.
And getting some communications, like Olatons is sending us some stuff now.
That's
and
cool.
Big Eye Design is sending us some stuff now. And, we're getting some people to actually send us stuff to review that we're not having to fork out the cash out of pocket, which really a lot of last year's purchases was that, right? Trying to grow channel.
Sure.
And so knowing that this year is more of a focused year, I've created a list of knives that I want to obtain. And that's going to be like, if it's not on this list, I'm not buying it. And so Protean is one of them, right? Dragon Scale Protean is absolutely top 3 on my list.
Sure. Well, what wasn't on your list that you didn't know about but drops this week is the AD 20 XXX.
Oh, the XXL. Yes.
XXL.
I got that email today. That thing is monstrous. If you like big knives, that is a knife for you for sure. But that 8022 looks really nice too.
What did you find? Does anybody know what the cost is going to be? I mean, I think the XL was like $850. I'm imagining it's $1,000 at least.
Yeah. And this is 6.3 millimeters at the spine.
Yeah.
It's a pocket axe.
I think he said the blade stock thickness on the blade is a minimum a half an inch. It's 0.5 inches or bigger.
Roger Baker, what is he trying to be? He's trying to be what is that, PMP with those ridiculous pocket axes that they put out? I mean, there's overbuilt and then there's PMP.
It's like a Recon XL, right? Like the Cold Steel Recon XL or something.
Yeah, those things are absolutely bananas. Absolutely,
you can probably
crazy.
chop a tree down with it, I bet. I'd have no doubt you could.
Oh yeah. Well, your Leviathan, I think you can probably do that from concept too, right?
Yeah. Are you familiar with that one, Rob?
Is that the big? Oh yeah, look at that one. That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, next to the PM2 for size reference.
That is insane. That's insane.
Hilarious. Yeah, it is an absolute monster, and
it did not come with a lanyard hole though. So
yeah,
did you make one?
I'm out.
You know what? If I send it to you, I bet that would probably be one of the mods you'd put on it, isn't it? Just
Paul, I'd recommend Paul I might first though. I think he would do a much better job. Definitely go with Paul.
Oh yeah, Paul does really nice work with his mods.
On my Bigfoot knife. So
I think it would be funny to put a lanyard on it and one for like the Civivi banner or something. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rob. What were you saying?
I was just Paul did the thumb studs on my Mordax from ProTech.
That one's on my list. Nice the Mordax. I've got a Mordax on my list.
He always says he snips the peen, right? So when he cuts the flippers off and he keeps them in a bag like some psychotic freaking like some murderer keeping
a serial killer. His tokens or whatever they call them, right? It's like don't mess with that knife.
Look what I did again.
I know.
Like, you have an illness, Paul.
Was it Paul Mills? Or no, it was Aaron had a Golden Design Works, that little chunky one. He took out the thumb stud and put a Spyderco hole on it. That knife looks so amazing. The problem is that knife.
Nugget?
Yeah, the nugget with the. Yeah. Oh, that was amazing.
Michael called him a peener snipper.
Yeah.
Nick Sebastian like that. He's, a pocket pecker. He probably would approve removing pocket peckers.
Yeah. Sever said to check his last question.
Yeah. Question for all three. What is your most anticipated single purchase for 2026? Well, I have a list of 10, and I can't say that I have a most anticipated. But if I was to put one up at the top of the list, if there's going to be one on that list that I go after above all else, it'll probably be the Hog House Veli. That's numero uno on my list. I wanted it last year. When I went to go order it, they had just closed the books, and so I pivoted and wound up buying a Rob Johnson cedar instead.
The cedar.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that thing.
What's yours, Rob? What's your most anticipated one this year?
So I'm going by what can be purchased and what I know is already out, not by what I know might be in the books or coming that I'm not supposed to talk about. So let's talk about that because there's going to be some real fire coming out this year that will change everybody's list, I'm sure. Let's just leave it at that. But that being said,
man, that's horrible.
I know.
You're killing me.
Small. I can't say anything, NDA and all sorts of stuff, right? So, anyways, I got you. That being said, right now it's going to be the micro cedar that I ordered. So I'm really looking forward to that. Right?
Very nice. Yeah.
But then I'm on the books for an HDM from Mayberry, and he's building it exactly like I want it. And I talked to him about the detent because he made the detent super crispy with that top liner lock because everybody requested it. And I mentioned it to him. I said, if you happen to not make it super crispy, I wouldn't mind. And he goes, oh, you like the detent like I like it. I'll do that for you. So Andy's a great guy. So that'll be those two right there. I think are one of my two most anticipated that we know of right now. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Sean O'Connell and Andy Mayberry. Those two guys, as far as customs on my list, those two are real high up there. And then Jim at HMC with the transient. I'd love to get a transient as well. And I mean, honestly, the one that I want is just stupid expensive.
Oh yeah. So,
my two that I would narrow it to are extremely achievable. And this one is going to sound cheesy because of where the question came from, but it's completely honest. Is Sever's first knife.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
You know, I'm looking forward to that. I know he's put a lot of hard work into it. It's going to be just an accomplishment that's outstanding, and I think that I'm really looking forward to that. As I've shared with him, he's encouraged me to purchase knives that I've enjoyed, and he has probably saved me tons of money from ones that I thought I was going to buy because of watching his review and steady and consistent. So that one is, I definitely want to support you, and so that's one. The other one would probably be, I'd mentioned before, I want a Chris Reeves small Sabenza, something that I can carry for work. I want the Inkosi. Is it Inkosi? What's it called? Not Inkosi. What's the sheep's foot blade on the? I forget what they call them.
Umnazan?
No,
it's the.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but it starts with an I. Insingo,
yeah.
Yep, the Insingo. I want the Insingo blade.
Sever chimed in with that.
Yeah, gotcha. And then I want the the birch inlay, the elder. They've got like a curly elder birch or something like that. It's very rare. I see it out every once in a while.
Is it the black birch or is it that real golden one?
It's the real golden, golden one. But there's
nice.
Yeah, so they've got the regular one, but they've got a curly model too. And I've only seen it a couple of times, and that's the one I'm really watching for. But if everything lines up, then I'll make that purchase. But those are it. But yeah, Sever, man, I'm really looking forward to yours being released. I'm really happy and excited for you.
I got to put his prototype in your hand. By the way, it's sitting here, and I don't have it out. Just so you know, he asked me specifically not to record anything on it. I guess Katuo was not thrilled with it, with anybody putting a review out there. So, I'm just checking it out.
Sure.
So I got to get it in your hand before I send it back to him because he sent me a handful of knives to review. So I'm not going to show it on here or anything. I did see. So he gave the pass around group a sneak peek at what the production version will look like because there are some changes from the prototype and definite improvements. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to get one of his as well. One is it's a fantastic knife, but two, because to be honest with you, he's a friend and I know he supports us and I want to make sure that we're supporting him as well. So when we get one, I'll be putting a whole bunch of videos out there and, building him up for sure. So
I've been bugging him to get one, but he said I think Derek, you're going to be getting a pre or final pre-production final run or whatever, and hopefully I'll get a chance to take a look at that one because that sounds like it's going to be. All I know is I like the look of the knife, everything I see, and I'm that nerdy OCD guy that I zoom in on the picture and I look at all the little details of a knife because there's things that I see immediately that can be a deal breaker. So here's my thing. I should do a video on this, but what makes an evergreen knife? What's an evergreen knife? A lot of people love certain knives and they think they're amazing. And they say this is great. They'll pick it out, they'll carry it, and then you don't see it regularly in people's hands. And I think that's the difference between an evergreen and a non-evergreen is it's the small touches, what makes it comfortable to carry. So knives that cut you, knives that give you blisters, knives that slice you regularly, even though they're really cool, you love them. They just kind of give you that ow factor, and everyone gets a little nick here and there. They don't get carried as much, but the ones that work, that just are comfortable, that are just ergonomic, that are functional in your hand and don't, they work. Those are the ones you see everyone carrying all the time.
Yeah. I love that. And I'm the same way. It's very important to me to have something that I truly enjoy having in my hand.
Right.
All right. So Mick Ranger asked, I think maybe we had this conversation earlier, right? He might have been out of it. If we could get one knife but can't get any other knife ever again, what would you do it, and what would it be? One knife. Would I do it? No. I can tell you I would not do it. That's for sure. I love knives too much and variety that I don't think I could, even no matter how much I love one single knife, I think I would pass up owning one single ultra grail, if you will, or whatever, to have a whole lot of knives that I absolutely love and adore and enjoy and appreciate. Plus, that kind of hinders you to get anything going forward. So when they invent new locks and new cool things and new finishes, I'm never going to get that, right? So I don't think it would be. But if I had to pick one knife that I can have for the rest of my life and I can't sell or something like that, I mean, for me, it's a Blaurock. And I know there are definitely bigger, better grails out there than Blaurock. But for me, there is just something about this knife. It has, as Chris calls it, mechanical soul for me. It absolutely just connects with me. It fits my hand perfectly. The action on it is absolutely insane. And, you know, fit and finish on this thing, there's just nothing I don't love about this knife. That's why I own two of them.
Yeah. What about you, Rob?
So, okay. I don't think I would trade all my future knives for one. If I to give up, right? If there's not one knife that I would, there's too many knives out there for me to carry. And I've had a couple of really mega grails that I bought that were insane. And they were knives that if I kept in my collection, they'd probably be worth way more now today if I had kept them. But I just don't carry knives like that. Every knife I own, I carry. That's always been my thing for me. I like to carry everything. Now, I'm not going to take like my HMC Transient. I'm not going to go chop a wood with it, but I'm going to carry it and use it, open boxes, do things with it. Right. That's why I like it. It's so ergonomic. So no, I don't think I would trade all my stuff and get one knife I would never get. But if I were to get one, if there was a single knife that I might consider doing, there is one that I possibly would consider. And let me see if I can share it with you. I don't know if I can share it with you. Can I? Am I allowed to?
You're not allowed to if you're going to take mine.
Well,
I don't want to sound like a copycat, Rob.
But it is. Can I share it with? Can you share a link with your control over there? If I share it with you in our chat. Man. Okay, so let me share this with you. It is a Clark handmade knife at Blade Show Atlanta. I just sent it over to our private chat. At Blade Show Atlanta, I got to handle a Clark handmade knife. He's a South African knife designer.
Mm-hmm.
His base models are like Dalibor Bergam level, Burger level, right? Bergam level. They're insane. But this one knife, I get goosebumps when I see it every time. I don't know if you saw it, if you can share it, but I don't even know what it's called. I don't know if there's a name for it, but this would be the one that might make me consider it. It is just insane. And if you look at the tolerances, how close
look
the blade
at
is.
the hand satin on that. That is sexy. Yeah.
And if you go back 3 knives on his page, that video on his page is it 3 or 4? No, 5, 6 back. That's me flipping a knife at Blade Show Atlanta. I actually got to handle one of his knives. After I did the video, I didn't realize I was flipping a $5,000 knife at the time. It was bidded. And I was like, well, let me give you this back really fast because I'm sure it's for more. But it's beautiful.
I'm sure I would have dropped it on the floor by accident, tip down. Yeah.
Oh, no.
You know, that's good looking. I would say I would go with a Michael Walker custom.
Okay, that's fair.
You know, I think that I've got his. I actually got one of them here that I've been playing with. I bought recently. It's a CRKT model that he put together. but the thumb stud is the locking mechanism. So when you push on the thumb stud, it releases the lock. So it doesn't get out in a hurry, but you can't close it without, again, depressing the thumb stud and dropping it down. So it's just the gearing. But when you look at some of his custom stuff, he's got over 30 or 40 patents for locks. He invented the liner lock. I'm a bit of a history and nostalgia guy.
Oh, sure.
And I really admire how we got to here.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it'd be probably one of his. That, and I think the most expensive knife ever sold was his. So I'd pick that one.
Sure. So speaking of that, did you watch Knife Nerdery's recent video that hit 1 million views?
I did not see that one. I don't believe.
It was, he's been working with CRKT, and it's very historical. It's a brilliant video. Kevin did I highly recommend, if you want to get a little nerdy scratch and a knife scratch. He really goes into details and it's so well produced. Kevin did an outstanding job on that video.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that would be the only one I would consider.
In the house. What's up, buddy?
Mind of Milton.
I like Mind of Milton's channel as well. If anybody hasn't checked it out, he puts out some good content.
For sure, absolutely does. And man, I guess I don't know if he hasn't been in here before, or if I just haven't caught it before. But I'm gonna make you moderator. So I thought I made you one before as well, Rob. Which I'm surprised. I guess you I didn't know why you couldn't share a link, but I make everybody that I know a moderator. Helps me police the room really well.
Let's see if I can share.
Anybody who comes in that tries to troll has to face the gauntlet.
Sure.
You know, Rob, we've been really fortunate that you get on the internet and you start talking about a belief, and typically you just get attacked for an opinion. And I know the rules that you have on your channel are be kind, be respectful. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen malicious comments in your feeds. I'm sure that they come up from time to time. We've been very fortunate that I've not seen a single one. But do you have scenarios and situations where you've had people attack you for your opinion of a knife?
Yeah. So I've got great moderators right now, and folks have been really great about understanding that. And if I ever I go a little slower with the moderators just because so I can manage the folks who are doing it. But my one request that I have for everybody is that if you're going to moderate, is that you encourage that atmosphere, that dialogue, that community. That's the whole goal of that. Is respectful. You can disagree, you can strongly disagree, you can strongly dislike something, but you have to be respectful and add value if you disagree. So like, let's say you don't like a knife. Maybe you have giant hands and there's some reason why you don't like this knife. Other people with giant hands are going to be, I would like to know. Let's say you have very thin fingers or long fingers, or like me, I got a large, extra large hand, but I got the length fingers of a medium hand. So it's a unique, it's like if I grip a knife, it's probably how you grip a knife for width wise, but how long my fingers go, it's not at all like you guys. Right. So it's, tell me why. And if you don't like, I mean, but I do, I've had people come in. One of the first comments I remember, people said, you got big old fat fingers. And I'm like, well, I got big old veins on my fingers and I used to power lift. I don't know if they're fat fingers, they're meaty fingers, but I wouldn't call them fat fingers. I know I'm not skinny myself, but my fingers are not. I used to power, so then the other one was someone really didn't like my voice. They said I sounded like Bob Ross. It makes me like ASMR. And I'm like, as soon as I said that, it was like 5 or 6 folks who jumped in are like, that's why we watch him, because I go to sleep listening to him. And I'm like, that's okay, that's cool. I'm like, I'm honored by that. But
your videos put me to sleep. Thanks.
And I have this happy little knife right here in the corner.
That's right. I've done like my skiff things, and I talk about something, and I realize I've said, "Oh, this makes me," and I swear it sounds just like Bob Ross. And I'm like,
"Oh my god, that is hilarious!"
It is hilarious. And I have a Bob Ross thing here, but I can't find it. But
have you seen some of the AI videos with Bob Ross where they talk? Oh my gosh, I'm in stitches when I see those. hysterical with
So-
with the knife things.
So he's a retired gunnery drill instructor, right, from the Air Force. He was a drill instructor.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah,
And
it's hard to believe because he's so even keeled. I couldn't imagine him like drilling somebody out.
Yeah.
Hey, do some happy little push-ups.
Well, and he was stationed up in Alaska. If you ever take his picture, all of paintings he did, and you put him in a row, it's literally a path that he would take for a walk in Alaska. All his paintings really are a path that he walked. It's really quite
A memory.
Yeah.
Sever, what short did you share? Did I miss something?
Or on his channel, maybe?
I'm sure he dropped it in here. Oh, here it is. This is mine if I picked one. Okay. Got it. Okay, my bad. I just missed a what do you call it? Share screen.
He had one.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of things that in the comments too of people, talking about respect and kindness, and it's fantastic.
So
Is that
Good looking.
is that the guy from the Czech Republic? What's his name? What is that one?
Scott Cook Laksha.
The Laksha. Yeah. I got a chance to check Sever's first. He had like one of the very early versions of that guy, not the integral. This is obviously a little nicer, but
Yeah, that's sexy.
Yeah, that is. Look at the tolerances on that. I mean, it has nowhere to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you see that when he was holding it? I mean, the blade slip in
Yeah.
between there is bananas.
It is.
Yeah, it looked like it was even tighter than the Rask.
And it's funny, you can so tell that Sever has like an absolute type, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Unkovsky, like that looks Unkovsky-like, right?
Yeah. So Sever and I were talking about this, and I mentioned to him, and I said, we looked at Dalibor Bergam. He's a great example of this. Dalibor has knives that I love, I gravitate toward, and then I looked at the knives and I said, I bet Sever would like this. I bet Derek would love this knife. And sure enough, they're his exactly, and that's fair, right? We know what we gravitate toward. Just like a lot of us know, if you know Richard, he likes overbuilt knives. He likes the big Damascus. So that's his thing, right? Everyone has something that they enjoy, and that's fair, I think.
Yeah. You say Richard, Metal Complex?
Yeah, Metal Complex.
Yeah. I agree. And what's interesting for me is I've got $60 or $70 knives that I like more than $300 or $400 knives that I've purchased. And it's not a price thing. I really value the engineering and the execution of the design. But again, there's so many subjective things, like how does it fit specifically into my hand? How does it sound to my ear when I flip it open? How does it feel to me? There's so many subjective pieces to it.
Yeah.
What is the gentleman, Dalibor Bergam? I can't afford his knives. They're way outside of my range. I dream of them, but he came out with that Riot build OEM version, and I got the first one it dropped, and it was way underpriced, and he's going to have a drop. Matter of fact, tomorrow, by the way, if you like the Asgard, he's dropping some DLC and some non-DLC versions tomorrow, but they did go up to a more fair price, $470 and $500, just so you know. They're a little bit more, but they're full integral. But when you look at that knife, it is everything of the Asgard without the Damascus, the Dalmascus, all the stuff that he creates, all the Damascus that he makes, the titanium, the zircon, all the stuff he makes himself. He's just a genius with the steels. He does everything in the knife, right? And it's amazing. But that Riot made knife has the aesthetics, the shape and everything. And what I appreciated about was his knives, just at the base level, without all the amazing frills that you put on that knife, is a great knife. It's just a really good knife.
It is really, really nice. I've not handled one yet. I missed it, and Fishbag, you are hilarious, dude. That is hysterical.
Yeah, that is that's an outstanding quote. That's almost like just cut the choil back, don't change an effing thing.
I don't know about that one because I love my wife, so I'm happy with her. So if it was with that,
Hey,
I would trade them all.
To each their own, I guess.
Exactly,
Yeah, no,
right.
I hear you. I hear you.
I actually like my wife. I tell people that. People you freak out. They're like, no, I know a lot of guys who love their wives, but they don't like their wives. I actually like my wife. I enjoy hanging out with her. We're friends. We actually enjoy one another. So for me, it's it's that, and it's going to be that friendship going as we get older, and I appreciate.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Mick Rangers talked about 80-15 and OS 10. Best knife under $75 and sometimes as low as 60.
Oh, those are
Best
crazy.
knife under $75, sometimes 60. You know what? I mean, don't get me wrong. An 80-15 is absolutely an absolute banger of a knife.
Is that the Scorpion?
It depends on what your use case is, right? I think that's the deal for me with those knives is you've got to have a use case for it. If you're just going to open up Amazon packages, I'm not sure I need an 80-15 in the arsenal for that. If you're going to work with that thing, sure, Scorpion Lockel is worth it then.
Is that the Scorpion or the Triad? The 80-10 is the Triad, right? And the
80-10 is the Triad. 80-15 is the Scorpion.
Yep.
And I watched a couple videos. So there's people that can mod them. They cut that spring back one coil so that it actually like flicks and whatnot. And I'm like, man, that is just too much. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, and then you can also get the original goat scales for the 80-15 and put the skiffs in there, which is pretty cool. I mean, but
sure,
you can mod the heck out of them if you want to, right?
Yeah.
I've been having fun playing with this one. I just got this in. It's it was a $90 AZ USA. It's a
I've heard of them.
It's a Vanex steel, but it also came with another knife. So $90, and I picked up, again, just.
What was the other one that you got?
I
mean, the Eldorado is cool as hell.
Yeah, so the Eldorado, so that is it. That came with it for free.
Wow.
And titanium handles, and I don't know what this is. 14C, I think. But it's like
14C with titanium handles, still on the cheap side in most cases.
Crazy.
Is still. I don't know how he does it. How do you do Vanix for under $100?
Yeah,
I got to think they bought a really big.
And give me a free one.
Well, I got to think they had like some massive amount of stuff. They did a huge run, and so the cost gets distributed out, and so I could see it happening. I can't see it as a long-term model, maybe, but probably like a nice short-term kind of run sort of thing.
Yeah, I said the same thing to Chris. I said he had to have run something big to drive the costs down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way. Look, we just priced. We were considering what we're going to do as far as change if we're going to change steels on production run for our knife, and Vanex is more expensive than MagnaCut.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And it's like, okay, do I want to do that? Do I not want to do that? I mean. We're so on the fence on this because I hear a lot of people that want it one way and a lot of people that want it on the other. There's a lot of people that are like corrosion resistance is like primo for me. Other people are like, I want the edge retention. Other people are like, I want the balance. So it's between that MagnaCut, Vanex, and S90V is the three that I get the most common.
Oh yeah. In my opinion, MagnaCut done, if all of them are done properly, they're all outstanding. But my opinion is that MagnaCut gives you more margin for error, and more design flexibility. So that's my only thought is if we wanted to go much thinner on the grind, MagnaCut's going to be the toughest option. If we want a beast that's also can dub as a pry bar, of those three, MagnaCut's the way to go.
Unless you want a 3V or for M4 or something like that, right?
No, yeah, and Sam is it's got to be a 7 or greater on corrosion resistance for Sam to even look at it. So,
yeah,
you know, and Lance, you know, Magnamax is to me. Well,
yeah.
first off, I'd love to find something or do something in it, but Best Tech, I don't know that they can get their hands on Magnamax. I don't know what their skill set is as far as heat treatment of that steel because it's so new.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a future steel that we can absolutely look at and visit, but I don't want to be Best Tech's guinea pig on my first production run and just wind up throwing my, you know, production run in the trash can, essentially, right?
It's either a home run or an out, and no in between.
Or we're out of business.
Yeah,
I remember the first Magna Cut that Best Tech did, and they were doing like 60-61 on those, and that was like, if you know, it was a much lower range. I think it was even 59-61 or something like that, and some people questioned if it was even lower than that sometimes, but it, you know, not quite Italian steel, but close.
Yeah.
Well, Fanatics from them is 60-62, and John Rusk from EMP EDC is running Magna Cut through Best Tech now, and he's getting 62-64. Yep. And I spoke to John, and he said he had it tested. So I think Best Tech has dialed in their Magna Cut treatments now. So Cold Steel 4 Max AUS 10, $42 Midway. That's a damn good deal, Todd. Midways get some good deals. I always forget to shop them. You know that?
They do.
I do. I forget.
I actually have an affiliate with Midway, I think. Or do I? I don't know.
Well, if I go and buy it, I'll use your affiliate link.
Yeah. If you have one, use yours since this is your channel. So I don't want to take that away.
I don't have one. The only affiliate link we have so far is through Lone Star Knife and Supply. We are most companies don't want to give us one yet. We're just not quite big enough, which I respect that. I respect that. I'm not gonna hammer them. We'll get there in time, and then, you know, we'll definitely promote them, and they'll pay us, and that'll be fun. We'll all win.
Yeah.
Best Tech is tried and true, and I love jimping. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, Lance, or if you love jimping, buddy, that's probably the wrong color for this one. Okay, but here you go.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we are jimped from the very end, almost to the tip here. Okay, you are gonna absolutely love this knife. It is. Let me get my hand back in front of it. There you go. Focus in. Yeah, we've got tons and tons of jimping, and this is the type of jimping that will tear your skin off. So
you wear gloves and you'll be locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the one little small change that we have to do is just right here where the blade meets the handle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna add some jimping on the scales themselves because your thumb skates until it gets to just jimping.
Right.
So you just like slip that one. What is that? A half an inch right there.
Right.
Just whoop, and then you're locked in. So
that's one. Yeah, one of the things that we ordered and they missed is we were putting jimping on the inside of the underneath of the lock bar as well, so that way there's a little bit of traction there.
Yeah,
you're not sliding over the blade.
We're definitely going to do some a little bit more lock bar access. Put a little texture there, which they were supposed to, and we're going to add a little bit to the ramp that's on there, so the chamfer is going to be a little bit bigger to give you some more thumb placement.
So, is the blade shape? Is it a Nesmuk? What are you officially calling your blade shape?
I don't know.
Whatever you named it last week.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Rob,
it's like a drop mook or a nest point or something.
Nest point is awesome.
You know, that's I just look at it and I go, I first immediately think Nesmuk, but then I look at it and I go, no, it's different.
I want to rename it to the Nest Point Monster at this point.
That's pretty funny. we're too involved in the Gracchus at this point. It's that one's set in stone, brother. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it started off, Rob, as I love the shape of the Evo and the Padre, and I was like, man, I want to make something kind of crazy and aggressive. And then Chris is really like leans towards the utilitarian and using of knives and stuff like that. So he was more like, how can we use it this way? And then it's, the more this sharp angle went away here and the belly swooped up a little higher here, so it wasn't quite as big of a belly. And I don't know, this just awkward black swan of a strange duck came, the ugly duckling that we have here was born.
I bet it's going to be a rope cutting machine.
Oh yeah, it will. It will indeed.
I think this knife is going to do really, really well. And Chris, I think you kind of nailed it down, right? When I was talking to Jared and he was asking about this, because we're talking about how can we get a little thinner behind the edge here. It's a pretty thick blade. And he said, bring the grind line up a little higher, or just tell them straight out, go deeper on the hollow, and they'll do it. Okay. And I said, Chris kind of explained it best, right? And you used the whole MMA analogy, Chris, and I'll throw the ball to you on this one to kind of rehash what you had said, because I think it makes perfect sense to anybody that knows anything about competitive fighting.
Yeah, I'm an MMA fan, and saying that this knife, it's not going to go. It's not going to go win a boxing title. It isn't going to go be an Olympic gold medalist. It isn't, in wrestling. It's not going to go win a karate point competition. But man, when you put them all together, it's going to be good at everything. And so, I use the analogy that Conor McGregor was never going to beat Floyd Mayweather in that boxing match, but there's a reason that Floyd's not going to get in the ring with or in the octagon with him to fight. And so, and I think that's really the same thing, is that we've got something that isn't going to be the greatest slicer, but it's going to slice well, and it's thick where it matters. It's thin where it counts. It'll do a lot of things. Yeah, that's what she said. In honor of
Lefty.
Yes, honor of Lefty.
I saw Dylan Mallory in here.
What's up, Dylan?
I know he's got is today his last day for his H2O Kickstarter?
The Kickstarter, is that today?
Yeah, I think today's the last day. Dylan, if there's still time left, I just made you a moderator. If you want to throw your link in here for everybody.
Great.
Dylan's.
I know he met the Kickstarter goal right away, which is super awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to keep going past it.
Well, he was pushing for 200%, right? He hit 100% in like 6 or 7 hours or some crazy number like that, which is awesome. I'm super happy for him. It's a gorgeous knife, and I'm glad that the community rallied around him, because I know he said it's going to be his last OEM knife. So I'm excited for it and excited for him. But Dylan, if there's still time on there, please by all means drop your link in there, and if he's gone, if anybody else has Dylan's link for his Kickstarter and they want to drop it in here, that would be awesome. We definitely want to get him some support, even if it's last minute. That would be awesome to do that. So, and I know we've got 40 something people in here, 41 people in here. So, if you are new to the channel and not subscribed, we'd greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Hit the like button for us. We are certainly a growing channel here. And Chris, some good news, sir. I'm looking in the corner of my screen right now, and we are officially at 500 subscribers. So happy 500 to us. And thank you all for the incredible support. And we greatly appreciate that. And, next week, that means we're going to have our 500 subscriber giveaway. So
our buddy Jimmy Crew.
Yeah, I'm gonna break it out and show everybody one more time what we had in here for it. So we have our friend Jimmy Crow, and I know you all know Jimmy Crow. Jimmy Crow gave us a really cool knife for a giveaway. It is a gorgeous Civivi, and it has this stunning blade work that he did on this.
Oh, that's nice.
Really, really nice work that he did on here. I've got a bag full of swag from him.
Can I just say one thing? I appreciate when people do treatments to blades that aren't like the faux Damascus. It's like genuinely a design, something that's aesthetically pleasing. Personal gripe that I have is I don't like faux laser Damascus. It feels it's not the right place to put the laser. Now you can do something cool like that. I love that. That's not laser. That was obviously treated, but you could do laser or something like that. I think that's really cool. Just wanted to give a shout out to that.
Yeah, I agree. And am I ineligible for entering the drawing?
Yeah, you are ineligible. Rob can jump in though.
I'll do something.
Rob can jump in as long as he's a subscriber to the channel.
I am. I've been a subscriber for a while, so
I know you are. I'm just messing with you, buddy. Yeah, Dylan, you're welcome, man. And thank you for the congratulations. But I mean, we're super happy for you, dude. I'm over the moon that you were able to nail that down really fast and get that stress off your shoulders. I can't wait to see these come out and people to really just get to enjoy them. So congratulations on all the success, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you're doing now with your own custom, your kitchen stuff and all that kind of stuff. I've gotten those peeks on Mattisfaction's channel and they look really, really good. And I'm really looking forward to checking those out too, man. So congratulations on that, buddy.
You know, Rob, I've purchased about every knife that an influencer has put out, and I thought about doing like a tournament of knives just as a review, and I decided against it because there's no easy way to do it, and again, it's pretty tough to compare a $400 Excalibur to somebody's $60 button lock Civivi, but have you thought of, or do you have any plans in the works of releasing your own? Because you've handled so many, you know what you like, you do some amazing jobs with mods. I'm sure you've got a lot of thoughts as to what a great knife would look like.
Well, I know what I like, but I have no desire at this point to ever design a knife. I never got into this hobby and everything thinking I would ever design a knife. So I may be the oddball out here. At least at this point in my life, I've not thought of that because I do have very particulars about blade shapes and things I do like, but I've not thought of designing anything like that. Yeah, it's not quite yet in my scope of vision or idea. I feel like I would be. I don't know if I have enough credibility to do that yet.
Oh, I definitely think you do. I mean, so thank you, Fred, by the way. Congratulations on 500. That's awesome. We owe a lot of success, by the way, for the channel, for all the help that you gave us, Fred, loaning us knives to have content and stuff like that. So thank you, buddy. This is as big a win for all of us. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks to Fred. He's helped me out too. I got some amazing knives that I got to hold on to Blade Show Texas from him. You can see some future drops videos on those.
Awesome. Look forward to it.
Todd Carr said the kazoo knife will happen someday.
Kazoo knife, that would be awesome. You just take the handle and just
multi-tool. It'll be a little multi-kazoo inside the multi-tool. That would be cool.
There you go.
Leather attachment.
But so we started in reverse, Rob, right? We became a knife company first. And we were honestly, we really didn't think too much about social media in the beginning. And going to Blade Show, every knife company we talked to, they're like, well, what's your Instagram? What's your YouTube? What's your, we don't have one. They're like, oh, you have to have one.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay,
we like your knife. We like your knife. Go create a social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of how social media started for us. And then it became, well, how do we get followers if we don't have anything to show? And so it became, well, we might as well just do some reviews. And then eventually it just turned into, okay, now we're both content creators and knife designers. And I'm completely okay with it, because the content creator thing, don't get me wrong, I do take it serious, but I'm just doing it with the fun of enjoyment and the community aspect of it. So I'm not so much doing it where it's like, hey, I'm trying to do this so I get paid for this. That's not what that's about for me. So I think eventually, Rob, I think you would absolutely have the credibility to do a knife design if you wanted. And I think that you have enough credibility that you could probably reach out to a number of well-known manufacturers that would probably give you the time of day and be willing to collaborate with you, so that you wouldn't be on the hook for an OEM, but do something more like what Neves did with the Wii. What was that one called that you have? The Inmate. Thank you.
So I appreciate the kind words. If it comes to mind, I'll think about it, but it just hasn't. I haven't even contemplated, because I haven't talked to anybody about that. So if it's not in sight, in mind, if I'm working on something, then usually I'm focused on something else. So if I'll put it this way, down the road, I could, and I'm going to say something I said I'd never say, I could maybe entertain the idea of thinking about it.
Yeah,
that's fair, man. You're not going to hear any pressure from us on that. I mean, that's your call, right? I'm just saying that if what's holding you back for any reason is the idea that you don't have the credibility, that's nonsense. I definitely think that you have more than enough credibility. If people think that we're credible enough with just breaking 500 subscribers while you're just busted through 11,000 and climbing and have been around for years, I can definitely think that people realize you know what you're talking about at this point. You've handled an awful lot of knives, and you probably can identify what the community has an interest in. So I would believe that you would be qualified. Thank you, Fred.
Your OCD would probably be the biggest hindrance as well as help in this process.
Yeah.
So
you would put out something that would be absolutely perfect, but my guess would be it would take you a very long time to do it, because you would want to dial everything into the microbes of. I
can see myself teaching myself, even though I would love to work with someone who knows AutoCAD. I would probably dig into AutoCAD, just because that's how I am as a technical person. So I would, and then I would want to think about the engineering aspects of the knife and the strength of the knife and ergonomics and the details and things. I mean, that's just kind of where my brain goes with a lot of those things. But I'd want it to be comfortable, ergonomic, fidgety, all those are things that I always look for in a knife. So yeah, if I did that, that would be probably where I'd go. But I don't know, maybe you can, it could happen, but I'm not
there are a lot
to
of
make it happen.
Yeah, there are a lot of comments you might want to scroll through. I forget
now.
Yeah, I think Joy said that if Rob made a knife, the blade would be made of titanium.
Yes, it probably would be titanium, probably a polished titanium. It might be some small anodization for folks if they wanted it, but it would definitely have to be a bit of a Silver Surfer right up front, right? I do like a high polished stone washed. I think that's beautiful. If not a hand satin finish, those are my two favorite finishes, right? I'll tell you. Okay, so I'm just going to share with you my favorite blade shape of all is a Javi Garcia blade shape. It's this one right here on his Nova.
Yeah.
So you can see it's like a Sponto. It's got that little itty bitty tip right there.
Yep.
You see that?
Oh yeah.
And this is a hollow grind. I didn't know this was a prototype, and I scratched the snot out of it after I got it from him. And so I kind of fixed some things, and I didn't realize it was a prototype. So I modded a custom. I didn't know that, but oh well. But and I put a cutout and it definitely has to have a cut. It has to be meat finger friendly. It has to be big old meat finger friendly. That's my other thing.
yeah, requirement. Fred said you get 2 months with your customs.
I do. I gotta bring him to Blade Show, Texas, and hand him back to him because they are. I'd rather hand him to him than ship him. Let's put it that way.
Yep. And Fred also said that he's wishing us success on the Gracchus and looking forward to the mini version coming out.
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw that comment. I threw it up on the screen before. That's hilarious. You know, we'll have to. We're gonna once this drops, we're gonna have to take the temperature on that. Right? It is a big knife, but it's not overly massive. I think.
What's the size?
8.15.
Okay.
So it's over 8 inches, but it's not like enormously ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not like 9.5 or 10 or something like that.
Here, hold on a second. Go ahead. There you go.
There's on the PM2. So again, it's not huge, but it's 5 ounces. It's good sized. Decent length. So,
yeah, but it's 4 millimeters thick. It is a really thick blade at the spine.
Right.
So to say the least, I would say that its weight is there, but I mean, Chris and I, one of the first things we did was put it at, it's balanced at the pivot. Mm-hmm. It is fantastically balanced. So
yeah, and again, Sever would be pleased if I get the 9.
Oh, that's nice. You got to have that nice drop shut or close controlled action, I like to say.
You're on the bodacious?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's bodacious size. So
which is it's I could see getting a compact because, like, honestly, I think, and I'm sure I don't know anything. I haven't spoken to him about it, but I would see a third iteration of like the Excalibur would be a micro Excalibur, and it'd be kind of like a baby banter size. That knife with the finger choil would really lead well into like a baby banter micro or something, I think.
Yeah, and what's interesting is I like the baby banter. Again, 2XL hands, but I like the baby banter. It fits well. Ironically enough, I can cut well with the McBee as well.
Yeah.
Sever wants a 369 test. So here you go, buddy. Am I getting a passing grade on this one?
That's the custom glide close right there. Sometimes you need a little skiffs to get there, but you don't have to.
This does not need skiffs, man. This is this thing is. I mean, seriously, that's so drop shutty.
Yeah.
I was telling Chris earlier, I keep putting my finger too low. I'm getting used to the knife still. I keep putting it too low on the lock bar, and the blade just drops down on top of my thumb. So I've got a line that looks like Swiss cheese across the top of my top knuckle on my thumb.
Yeah.
So they're all aligned at the same thing. I'm like, this is the same knife that's done this 11 times to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels great, and it is amazing because I've got 3 of them. And Sam's got 3, and 2 of my 3 will do that 369 test perfect. One of them I've got to give a slight shake and it falls. So yeah, and again, I don't know if that is just a difference in lock tension or pivot tension, or if that's in the finish, because I have 3 different finishes as well.
That could be all the above.
Which finish is it that doesn't do it, by the way?
Whatever that one is, the gray one.
Yeah,
so is it acid wash?
Is it a gray PVD or? I
have the gray PVD. You have the blur pinkle. You have the stone wash, and you have bronze stone wash, I think.
Yes, this is the dark one. Whatever.
That's the bronze stone wash.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, but again, it's not like it's bad. I can.
So if I got that, I would take it apart, right? I'd clean it. I would probably do a little flitz on your track, obviously, and then I would see how strong is that detent. I might adjust it. I might not. It could be the pivot. Sometimes the factory, they overscrew the pivot just a little bit too tight, and you want it just at the point where there's no blade rock, and that could be all you need, and that would be a simple fix, right?
Yeah, this is probably going to be one that I keep. I'll probably do the bulk of our testing with that one. So, because I don't think we're going to use this one as one of the ones that we put into production, but I do think that I want to do some cut tests, and I want to see if we can identify any hot spots, and
Right.
and I took it to a group of friends that aren't knife people and said, "Here, hold this. What do you think?" And found that guys with small hands, as well as guys with big hands, all said, "Hey, I like this. This fits well. It's really comfortable."
That's good.
Yeah, the thing I would say, so first off, Chris and I have really kind of nailed down what our finishes are going to be. We're going to take them all apart, put them all into, switch blades and handles and all that kind of stuff. But really, it's just come down to the popularity of reaction that we've figured out that,
Right.
let's face it, this is just not going to look good with that. We don't even want to bother wasting our time there. So
absolutely.
I think what we figured out is that we're going to do a full DLC. Everybody needs a full black knife.
That'll always do well.
We'll do a stone wash because they always do well there. We're going to do a stone wash handle with a belt satin blade.
Yep.
And then we're going to do the blur pinkle with the belt satin blade as well. And I think, truthfully, the blur pinkle seems to be so freaking popular amongst everybody that one is going to be a hit. I think that one's going to be real.
Is that the purple with the pink kind of shade in the back?
Yeah, it is. And I'm actually, I don't have on my computer, which is crazy. I sworn I did.
I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like this Morpheus. I think you can. I don't know if you can see the pink in there. Is that what you're talking about? Kind of like that pink coming through.
No.
Can you see the pink?
I can see it, but no. This one's different.
Is it okay?
You blow me up, Sam.
Yeah, I'm gonna try, but your lighting isn't that great either.
My lighting's terrible.
So, I'm actually emailing myself the
all right,
and I'm gonna share the screen real quick so that everybody can check that out. When we first got there, I think that was something that we did a really good job at, was getting some good clean pictures initially when there's some really good lighting. So let me
by the way, there was a couple good comments in there. There was a Baby's Got Back rhythm for a knife song. I almost got up and started throwing it in a circle.
And by the way, I did see all the comments about saying that I would probably have skiffs in my knife. I don't think that would be in question. I would probably throw it in there. It would be included if I had to get it myself.
That's funny. Yeah. So this is the blur pinkle, and if you hang on a second, for some reason it's not letting me. There we go. Let's try this again. There we go. Much better.
There we go.
It wasn't letting me. Oh, really? For some reason or another, it is not letting me blow up this one picture.
Well, go to the right. It looks like when you go left of the image, maybe that image is small, but the image to the right is large. Is that what I'm seeing?
No, all the images are the same size, but when I expand all of them, it lets me do that one. Let me see if there we go. This one's much better. There we go. Okay. All right. So yeah, so this was supposed to be blurple, and for some reason or another, they sent us pink with like this blurple edge around it. So it was okay. That's fine. If that's what it is, we'll deal with it. And we probably weren't going to use it. That was really what our initial reaction was. And people were like, "I love it! I love it! I love it!" And
that's
it was
awesome.
Like, okay, it's a happy accident.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I've called the color masculine mauve.
Masculine mauve, but Lefty called it blur pinkle because he said he wants a blur pinkle, and I was like, all right, you know what? Not for nothing, but Lefty says that he wants one of our knives, and to me, that's a pretty good testament to something. Yeah. So if he wants a Blurpinkle, I'm gonna have one made Lefty, and I'm gonna make sure that he gets a Blurpinkle.
So just, I'm going to date myself here, but for that masculine mauve, I'm going to do a little.
Nice.
Well, awesome. I'm Taylor there for you.
Yeah, I loved it. Fred said that you should, if you're going to do your skiffs on your knife, Rob, that you'll just have Steve Skiff OEM it for you too.
It'll be a small batch. We'll have to be some serious buyers there for that one, but who knows? Maybe you'll like it. I don't know. We'll see. I have, now you're making me think, what? Oh gosh, am I committing to something here? I don't know. So
no, nobody's going to hold you. Nobody's going to hold you accountable for that, man.
I'll think about it. How about anyway. That? I'll let it percolate in my brain.
Yeah. Yeah, so these are actually cleaner pictures. Well, let me share my screen one more time, because I think these are much cleaner pictures, in my opinion here. So, wow, stage. There we go.
Oh yeah.
So this is the Blurpinkle, and
I like the texture with the Blurpinkle on there. That's really nice.
Yeah, they did a really nice job with the milling pattern on this. It's there, you feel it, but it's not like ultra aggressive.
Yeah.
Have you touched the Taipan?
I owned a Taipan and I sold it only because it's a little big. I want to get the mini Taipan. That looks really amazing.
That looks really good.
But to be fair, the Taipan I had was an acid washed, and I wanted the stone washed. And if I was going to keep it, that would be more my cup of tea.
Gotcha. This is not as deep of a milling as what was on the Taipan. This is a little bit softer, but it's just right on the texture, in my opinion.
Nice.
But you can see that, like, the shades, the edges are a little bit blue, and then, like, right there, that's the edges on there. So that's really where they made the edges blurple, but not the face of the scales. So that was
right.
Like I said, happy accident, in my opinion. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I do like it a lot. When I first saw the picture, I was like, I don't like it at all. When it came in and I saw it in person, I was like, oh yeah, I like that.
And they can reproduce it, right? That's not like an accident. They never can reproduce.
Well, thanks for pointing that in our head.
Yeah, we're not holding Rob accountable for a high-end production knife. That would be mean. That would be inappropriate, in my opinion. If Rob is not comfortable having or designing something, we're not going to hold him accountable for it. But I will say that, if he ever decides to go there, I'm going to hold him accountable to make sure he puts one in our hands.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, I have talked to a lot of people and given ideas that I've seen sometimes used. I have no problem doing that. Like, I've been at many blade shows where I get a new knife designer will ask me, what do you think about that? And I usually give them the answer, and I go, okay, I'm not interviewing or anything. So I'm just going to ask you, do you want the honest truth, or do you want me to give you the nice truth? So it's like, oh, I want the honest truth. So a couple of them emailed me back and said, yeah, I did this. And I go, that looks really cool. So I don't know. I love doing that. I love throwing things that are helpful. That's always my goal. It's never to be destructive or negative. So, I always want to see people succeed.
Yeah, I'm with you. And it's an interesting thing is Sam's very creative and I'm very critical. And I think that that's a really good balance because, he's coming out with ideas and he's not done with the knife. And I'm already asking what kind of steel, what's the application, what's it going to go through? How do you intend the user to use this? And he's like, I don't even know what kind of pivot I want on this thing yet. What are you doing? And so, I like that too. You got a mid-tech option as well. High-end production and a mid-tech.
Rob mid-tech. The Kazoo Mini.
Instead of a ting, can it go?
There you go. He probably knows a custom maker that can figure that out. So
Sure.
That's
We
incredible.
can make the lanyard hole a kazoo.
Oh, Rob, I'm in, man. Let's do it.
That would be
Take
crazy.
my money.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it could be? It could be like you're in the woods and it's like your emergency whistle, right? It's emergency kazoo, just in case.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny, man? Because it's you and that's just your thing. I would bet you that it would actually do well if you put something out with a lanyard hole that had a kazoo built into it that buzzed. Like that would be absolutely hysterical.
It would be hysterical.
Oh my gosh, that is very funny.
It would be Rob's musical knife. That'd be the name of it.
That would be good. That would be awesome. So, hey Fred, did you get back from skiing, or are you still on the mountain, man? I was just talking to Chris about it earlier, and he said, "Is Fred around?" I was like, "Yeah, Fred is, I think, skiing still." So
yeah, it's his family vacation, I think, right?
Yeah, I think he went on family vacation. Well, I know he went on family vacation. I think he's still there. So, who did I see in here? Somebody just, howdy. There we go. Bulldog Smith Farms, EDC. Hey, welcome aboard. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Appreciate you. Kazoo, not so. Play with a knife, but a kazoo, not so much. Look, Rob may not be able to play like Metallica on the kazoo, but he can play the heck out of a kazoo in mine.
Hey, I told everybody when I first did it, I'm not a musician. I will let you know that up front. But the benefit is that from the first time that we played that kazoo to now, I think I have less cats crying. So that's the plus.
Yeah, and I see.
Awesome, Fred.
Yeah, Rob said that you're going to emerge as the Roy Hobbs of the kazoo knife.
I don't know about that, but okay.
Well, you know, it's funny. So
hey,
we are. Whose channel is it that I go into? Oh, it's Adventure 50. So Sunday nights, and we'll be sitting there, and he's always doing his laser, his Star Wars laser thing. It's that's his sound effect thing. And he's like, it's better than a kazoo. And like the very first time, I'm like, is that a knock on Rob? I'm like, that's it. I'm telling Rob right now. He's like, Rob's a friend. You can tell him I don't care. He knows I'm breaking his chops. And I was like,
oh, absolutely. Hey, I have no. You don't rub any skin off my back, or you don't rub me the wrong way when you criticize the kazoo, because I totally know the level of which my kazoo playing is. So you're not giving me new information. I'm totally humble about it.
You call it the serenade. How about that?
Fred pulled back the Roy Hobbs reference and said Rob is the natural.
Call the acapello, right? You can.
Oh yeah, the Scottish throat pipes. Yes, you know that. All I got to tell you, that first night, I didn't know how we were going to celebrate, and I said, in college we used to do that when we were having a few beers, and it sounded really great. And lo and behold, you do something and you set a precedence, and it never goes away.
Yeah.
You know, that's awesome. And I was thinking about something for us, and since he's the Kodiak and I'm the Wyvern, and both kind of make a roar, I'm trying to find a button or something like that can make like a ferocious roar is like our sound.
Oh, you gotta be thinking. I think there's some things I'm thinking in my mind. There's a few things out there. I have to look around, do some research, but yeah, that would be cool.
Donnie Bless in the house, Laser Ghost Knives. And
hey Donnie, what's up?
What's up, Donnie? Appreciate you coming in and hanging out, dude. What's up, Funky? So yeah, I would love to. I'd love to come up with something, and we'll come up with something. I mean, this is only our 5th episode on a live stream, right? We're real early in the game right now, but I'm super happy doing these. I think it's fun to real-time chat with people.
Oh yeah.
Every week we're trying to bring guests in. We're trying to have conversations with other channels, and we had Casey on, we had Sever7 on, we had Chris from the unprofessional dad. We had Chris from Lone Star Knives on. You this week. Next week we're gonna have Eddie Martinez from Orbital Knives. He's
Nice.
gonna come on and hang out. So that's, you know, it's just fun, right? I want to help other channels grow, and I know that by having those channels come on here, that means that some people that may not know about us are going to come and hang out here too. So it's a good relationship type of thing that way.
For sure.
And it's a lot of fun. And I did want to tell everybody. So this week I have been working pretty hard on our website.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I have bought our well, I've actually owned it for a while, the domain name, so wyvernkodiak.com, and I've bought a Shopify site, and I've started setting it up, and that's actually where Eddie Martinez came in from Orbital. Was I reached out to him and said, "Hey, dude, you have a pretty nice site on this thing, and it seems like you've nailed this down. Any chance you'd help me out here?" And he said, "Yeah, you know, once you see it and figure it out, it's not hard." So we had a quick Teams meeting, and he walked me through everything and helped me build a bunch of the site out. So we're getting closer and closer to getting our site up and running. Once we do, we're going to have some swag getting on there. We're going to order some T-shirts, going to have some hanks and stuff like that. Obviously, when we drop the knives will be on there and stuff like that. But everybody, I just want to let you all know that those things are coming. So when they do, I'll of course let you all know when they're there, and I hope you all, you know, jump in there, support, get on there, do the newsletter, and notify me, because that's where we'll push through our drops and all that kind of stuff. So
Sure.
it'll be good times. So we're excited for this. We
That's
really
cool.
are. We're moving forward, and it was no longer drawings on paper, right? Now things are starting to get real, and so this is where the rubber meets the road, and business is going to actually happen, which is cool. We're excited. So,
well, congrats on that. That's awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. And thank you for hanging out with us tonight, man. Like, seriously, it's been.
Well, it's an honor. Thank you for having me.
It's been fun talking to you. You know, I'm always in the chat with you, right? I've talked to you a bunch of times in there, but we've never really had a chance to speak face to face like this and have a real time conversation, which is cool. It's nice to do that.
So I've got to figure out either how to make OBS Studio work so I can have guests on my channel, because I did it one time and it was terrible, or I've got to get a new software. So I'm limited on my time. I use OBS Studio, and I use all the natural plugins, and so I've been doing it systemically, you know, and thinking like I can manage it. But the problem is it takes time to set some of the things up, and you got to make sure all the different apps and plugins are up to date and everything's working together, and you got to make sure your bandwidth, you're not dropping packets. And so I've got to do QoS settings here. Oops, sorry, that's my wife telling me I need to wrap it up. But anyways, but I just, it's a time thing just to do it, because it's OBS Studio is very manual. You got to have a little IT aptitude to work with it, I would say. And even then, it's kind of funky with some of the things you do. There's a lot of people who offer things to sell, but by the end of the day, it might just be cheaper to buy a whole service or something. Yeah.
So I tried use OBS. I got it working, and I can actually show you how to have guests on there. Here's the problem. When you change screens and you go to your overhead, your guest will not see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the first thing. Chris and I were trying to work our way through that. Now,
is that with that little add-in where they used the little the application that you used, the guy developed, where they download it and you use that intermediate? I forget what it's called.
Cam.
Oh, I thought it was the. Oh no, there was a different one that another guy developed during COVID. Anyways, okay, that's fair enough.
I'm sure there is, right? It probably does the same thing, but you know, Ray uses something, right? Everyday City Carry. You can reach out to him. He uses something different. But we're all right now. We're on the free version of StreamYard. And I think this thing works fantastic. And I think when we grow a little bit bigger, we'll probably pay for the paid version so that I can put multiple cameras up and really create a true studio.
I think you can do 1080p at that point too.
Yeah, and you can do 1080p, right? We can only do 720 right now.
Right.
So,
I
but
don't know
that
that
could
I don't
be
know that
something.
people. I don't know that people want to see us in 1080.
Yeah,
They might want to see the knives. You never know. So just
yeah,
Very fair.
that's probably more important. Would be the knives, but you know that truthfully, and I see Laser Ghost in here saying Donnie's talking. It's StreamYard's foolproof. Literally sign in and go. Like
20 hours a month.
I can honestly tell you this is super, super easy. The free one is 20 hours a month, right? And we didn't go over last month. It actually sent me a warning and said, you only have 4 hours left, but it reset on the 4th. So I was like, okay, well, you know, today. So I'm good. That's fine. But I think it's like $500 for the year or something like that for the software, for like the full core software on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I that would be something you might want to consider, Rob, is looking at StreamYard. StreamYard's extremely easy to use and incredibly user friendly. You can use multiple cameras on it.
If I remember correctly, I did sign up for one of the Streamlabs, StreamYards, whatever, and they're all overlapped on OBS Studio at the core. So some of the functionality is similar in some of them. I don't know about StreamYard, but Streamlabs.
Streamlabs is exactly like OBS. Chris and I were testing that out with OBS, and they're the one and the same. But if you go to StreamYard, StreamYard has put an interfacing to it that makes it incredibly easy.
Yeah.
Fred said that he's used YouTube Studio. What's the downside in that?
So YouTube Studio is built into YouTube. It's part of the application. So the limitations are going to be, you have to have the application get to your different cameras. So if you use your phone, right, well, from what I understand, let me rephrase that. When I last looked at it, is that you have to have it on an application where you have, I don't know if you can do multiple cameras. You couldn't originally. Maybe you can now. And I know you could do a host appearance on there, but I don't know exactly how that works. It seems like it's not meant for a large group like this. This would be more challenging from what I get.
Probably meant for just two-way communication and
like two people being on there. I don't know. Maybe it's been expanded, so I don't know. Fred has used it, so he may know more about it than I do.
Yeah. We tried a bunch, right? We were holding off doing YouTube lives until we kind of nailed down this, so that we didn't have a whole bunch of technical, mistakes live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, it just, Maddie from Maddie's Faction said, dude, just go to StreamYard. You can do a free one. It's so much easier. And I was like, okay. And I did that. And
in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, we're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
My first live stream was a complete failure. I ended up using the phone face down. It sat on top of the cameras that I ended up returning because I was so mad at how it failed. So I my first live streams were just with the phone. That was it.
And Fred, you know what? You'll figure that out more, right? You said you winged it so far so good. You're doing good on your stuff, on your videos and your streams and all that kind of stuff like that. And as you see and figure out what you want to show and adjust when you review your stuff, you'll figure out how to do it a little bit more. I think that's the thing, is Chris and I are able to do this on the back end in practice by putting we could do private lives. And you can't see it, but we're running live on there, and we're talking to each other, and we're going, okay, let's test this out. I'll do an unlisted one and send the video to somebody else so that they can see it and see how we look and stuff like that. But it's not open to the public. And so we tested the heck out of this stuff before going here. But honestly, I mean, you're doing really good so far, man, and you're getting some good traction, and you're showing things that people have a lot of interest in, which is really, at the end of the day, the most important thing. Is that as long as you engage your audience and you're showing them and talking to them about something that they have interest in. And let's face it, Fred, you have an incredible knife collection. You definitely have more than enough content to talk about. So,
I agree.
Just a tip, EDC. Nathan, what's up, dude? Thanks for coming in, brother. Appreciate you. So yeah, it's one of those things. I can't wait to see where we're at 6 months from now, a year from now, right? I think we're going to be in a totally different spot, so much more advanced, so much further down Chris is taking everything with an opportunity to learn, right? We ask questions, we learn from it, we take advice, and that's really the name of the game here. Is you're ahead of us, Rob, right? You're ahead of us at 11,000 followers. So, I reach out to you and say, hey, what would you say about this, or what's the idea about this, or how do I do this or something? And then you tell me, okay, I'm going to apply that now. What's the trick behind this? Why do you do this way? Okay, I'm going to try and apply that, or I'm going to see how I can tweak it to work for me. And so
I always recommend be yourself, be natural, don't force it, and do what you love. Don't do something just because you think you're supposed to do it. I mean, learn it if it's a good skill to have to help with what you're doing as a tool, but don't do it just to force it, because it'll appear forced, and it won't be as smooth and be as received. If you just be yourself, be natural, and that they're going to love you or they're going to hate you for it. Either way, you can't make everybody happy. Some people are going to hate it, some people are going to love it. Just kind of accept that. The other thing is, I would say if I were recommend anything, one of the first few investments that I did was, you got a cell phone. That usually works pretty great at first, but then some lights, and you get some really cheap lighting. Then after that, your next is, if you start using Streamlabs, then you want to go to the next level of cameras, and then after that, you go to other things, right? But those are the steps that I always tell folks, and you don't have to go big or go, you can gradually step up.
Well,
that's something that I plan on doing this year is investing in a camera system. I actually do have a really good light, but the way it works, if I do this, I mean, I can get a suntan. It gets so bright in here.
Yeah.
So I just try to
Does it have a diffuser?
Which I thought the mics have a diffuser, not the light.
Well, this is called a pop mic. So this is the pop. It's called a pop filter on here. So that's, if without this on here, if I take this off, you hear the pop, 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 pop. It's much more not as nice, right? A diffuser is kind of like you're in let's say you have a really bright light in the kitchen, and there's like the old what is it? It's that plastic that goes over it and distributes the light out a bit. So I don't know if I can. I don't know if you can see it here. Maybe
essentially what a lampshade is.
Yes, it's a lampshade, and you can focus them based on how I have 3 of these, and they were pretty inexpensive, but you can get cheaper. And I have one of these here. This is another one. I use it as a key light now, but this was one of my first diffusers that I had, and this has a diffuser built in here, and this also changes. Like, you can change the temperature. So you can kind of change it, and then you can also change the brightness. And you can go up and down.
That's what I have on mine. You can change the brightness, the temperature on it. Now, one of the things that I've learned to do is I take my light, and instead of it shining down on me, I actually turn it up so that the light is reflecting off my walls and ceiling instead. And that makes it a lot better than if I turn this light the other way. All you're going to see is crazy bright white.
Yeah. And that's what a diffuser does. Like, if you do photography, you have flashes, you can put a diffuser on a flash, and you can do reflective off the light, off the ceiling, and it spreads out the light, and it makes it softer, and it can cover more area. Okay. So you can get away with one really nice light with a big diffuser. That works really well. Usually at 45-degree angle, like 45-degree angle at you, 45-degree angle down at you. That's like the perfect angle if you have just one light.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, are we going to make Rob's wife call him again?
No, we're not going to. We're not going to. I'm gonna let him go and get him back to his family. So, and Rob, you know what? But I did want to say one thing, and I forgot to actually say, you are going to be a grandfather. So, dude, congratulations on that.
Congrats.
I'm a grandfather myself, and
I have something I want to share just super fast, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
It is. Where go? Oop! It's with where's the pictures? Hold on. There we are. Here we are.
Oh, really cool.
The ultrasound.
Awesome, so it's real now, right?
It is real. It's
Yeah.
real. So that's my grandson. That's my son and his wife's ultrasound. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
Man.
Thank you.
That is fantastic. It's always good to get that. And you know what? You get to spoil them and give them back.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, here pretty soon you're going to be yelling at people to get off your lawn. So
I already do that.
get
That's
close. Yeah.
He already does that. That's hilarious.
It's usually
man,
truck.
Congratulations, though.
Some of the construction
that's great
people.
that the family's growing.
Yeah, so appreciate that. Thank you guys. It's been an honor. I really appreciate you having me here. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks,
Rob.
It's
been an
honor
for us as well, man. Thank you. So good. Good night, and we hope that you will do this again with us sometime in the future. We had a blast hanging out with you tonight. So.
Maybe I could have you as a guest on my show as well, so I can figure it out. I got to do this. I got to get Meredith and other folks on there. Probably Fred the Lug, Sever7. I got to get all these guys, Neil, all these folks on here. So definitely want to do that.
Well, if you ever want to work something out, just so you know, like if you want to do like a private, like YouTube live or something with me so that we can work on something, like let me know. Reach out to me. I work from home most days, and
I do too.
I can work around stuff. So
yeah. Unfortunately, I'm in meetings about 7 to 8, 9 hours a day sometimes, so it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm just saying, like I'm not crazy in an office somewhere. So if you want to do this or you want to test, even at night, man, just let me know. We can test it in a private live or something like that, so you can figure it out and not go through technical difficulties on a live.
Yeah.
Joy said that Rob's going to hand out kazoos when the baby's born.
Oh, that I will
instead of cigars.
I will bring kazoos to Blade Show, but yes, that sounds like a great idea, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is hilarious, man. All right, buddy. Thanks again for hanging out with us, man. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll see you around, my friend.
Bye.
See you, Rob.
Take care. All right. So, anyhow, we've got Mr. Rob's Nerdy Knives that hung out with us tonight. That was a blast. And I hope everybody enjoyed that. It was a real treat getting to know Rob a little bit. You get to know him while you're in the chat, right? When you're going live with him. So it's always great to be in his lives. He does a great show, but he's got all that competition, right? Of last night at one point he had like 190 people in his live, and so it's nice to be able to just kind of get the attention on the focus to really kind of get to know the guy, right? So that was a good time.
Agreed. Yeah, and again, I've enjoyed watching his content over the years. Same thing that I've said about Sever is I've watched his content before and went, I'm not going to buy that. Or you know what, I think I'll add that one to the cart. So
yeah. Rob is a trusted reviewer, right? That's the thing. He's proven that he's willing to say, hey, I don't really like this. I do like this, pointing out things that are probably not ideal and great. And at the same time, plenty of things where he's sitting there going, you probably don't know about this. And this is probably snuck under your radar, but you should probably check this knife out. It's really cool. Yeah. And so I've learned an awful lot about things that maybe I didn't know about. So it was really, really good.
Yep. Good stuff.
So thank you, Roger. I appreciate you, man. That's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to have some fun here, trying to entertain everybody and get people thinking differently and exploring things. So appreciate you, buddy, for sure. We had a great time. OC Omega, I'm glad that you love this live stream. We having a blast, man. And hey, where are you at, by the way, bro? Like, where are you at with your subscribers? Did you get a boost tonight or whatnot? If you are not subscribed to OC Omega Stacking, go ahead and give him a sub. He's a growing channel and he shouts out everybody else. So do us a favor, do him a favor. Let's get behind him. Let's hook him up. Let's give him a really good subscribe on this and see if we can't boost him over 100 and and get his channel going, because he deserves it, man. He's putting in effort and he's doing the work. So I'd love to see him get some success.
3 more followers, he gets to 100.
3 more. He needs 3 more. That is awesome. Can we get 3 more followers for OC Omega? Come on, guys. He was at 88 before, and now that means he's at 97. So we gained you 9 so far, bro.
Just a tip. Just
there you
did
go.
2
There's
more.
1 more. You need 2. So that's
Oh,
awesome.
did Kelly just post his channel?
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
98. Closing in.
Closing in. Closing in. If you're not subbed to OC Omega, you definitely should be. And I assure you that, he gave us an incredibly nice shout out on his channel. And he really does go through the content, and I see him in lives all over the place. He's really active in the community. So I'm really happy that he is starting to see some of this growth. There we go. 100.
Oh,
Mr. Mouse
hit it.
just said we got
Yeah.
100.
Joy, Roger, Mr. Mouse, that's awesome.
Awesome, bro. Congratulations on 100, man. Now the work begins. Okay, keep going, man. You gotta get to 100 before you get to 150, before you get to 200, right? So one step in front of the other. Awesome. Congratulations.
Really cool, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations and thank you for that. I know we started off the show by talking about cybersecurity a little bit, and since then there's been an awful lot of people that have come in and out. So if you heard this earlier, I apologize, but I'm going to say it again. And I just think it's important that everybody hears this. One of our own in the community, Lefty EDC, got nailed last night or early this morning. I'm not quite sure when the actual event happened, but he got hacked, and it cost him his Google, his email, and his YouTube channel. And so he's working really hard to try and get that recovered right now. And we're all pulling for him and trying to find resources to get behind him to try and get his channels back and running. But do me a favor, do us a favor. Cybersecurity is not something to be played with. And people laugh at it sometimes when they hear this, but it costs people livelihood, and it costs people big money, and it's just awful, and it's so sad. Okay, yeah, Lance, Lefty got nailed, and if you try to look up his channel right now on YouTube, and you'll find that it's not there anymore. And so do me a favor, if whatever you log into, please do use the 2-factor authentication or 3-factor authentication. Okay, make sure that you have backups to your backups. Make sure that you have alternate emails listed as sources to be able to recover things. Make sure that you are using strong passwords, not just like, blue123 or something like that. And last but certainly not least, be careful what you click on. Okay, if you don't know where it came from, with caution, investigate it and question it. Okay, be safe. The internet is a nasty, nasty place full of really trashy pieces of human that, it's just not good. So please just be careful. I would hate to see any more of my friends get hacked and lose anything else. And God forbid, don't get me wrong, it's serious business that he lost the channel with that big.
He did not get it back, Fred. I think he's having a hard time getting a hold of a human being at Google or YouTube to fix it.
Yeah, he can't get in touch with anybody at YouTube or Google. Apparently, Google and YouTube do not have like an 800 number support group where they can call like a network operations center to get a trouble ticket. They're being told to like go on X, which was Twitter or whatever, and tag like at YouTube support or something. And it's like, it's like waiting to die. It's just terrible. They do not want to talk to you. That's exactly right, Robin. They don't want to talk to you. And Lefty is a monetized channel that makes money. I'm sorry, but they should want to talk to him because he brings in finances and brings people, in to see the channel. So it's damn sad is what it is. And you know, I posted something on Kevin's comment earlier about them. They should be embarrassed with their inefficiency and their process. And you know, please go on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, find Kevin's channel. Go on to our channel. I reposted it. Look at his post, repost it, get it out there. Anything you can do, and do that. Okay, it is more awareness, the more traffic we bring to his problem is the more likelihood that YouTube and Google are going to pay attention. So it is just the squeaky wheel gets the grease, so to speak, right? I work for ADT security and we have meetings about this all the time. You have to be vigilant. It's a new cyber world. Yeah. You know, Roger, you're 100% right. And I said this earlier. And I'm in telecommunications, Chris is in telecommunications. My specialty has always been cybersecurity. And one thing that we tell everybody is the biggest vulnerability in a network world is the people that are using the network. We tell businesses that all the time. Your people are your biggest vulnerability because they go in, they see an email, they don't verify anything, they click on it, and they get screwed over, right? That's when they get nailed. That's when they get hacked. And that's when terrible things unfold. So, you know, just be careful. That's all we're asking, right? You're all our friends. We'd hate to see any of this happen to you. And God forbid this turns into something where it gets to their bank accounts or something like that, you know? I mean, that's when the real horror begins. So, you know, just be super, super careful. I don't want to keep beating the dead horse on it, but I want to make sure that everybody heard me at least twice tonight on that because I feel it's super important and I'm pretty adamant. So, Chris, what else? I think we've gone.
I concur.
Almost 3 hours, brother.
I concur on cybersecurity.
He concurs.
Yeah.
You
No,
can tell he's an executive. You can totally tell he's an executive, right?
Yes, I concur. Do you concur? Do you concur? We concur. No, I thought, I loved all the feedback in the chats and, seeing all the people comments, having conversation, it's hard to bring them all into, or having the Rob on and the three of us talking and then being able to bring in all of the comments is difficult, but I think that they've all been seen. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks,
See, Fred's with us. Yeah. But I think that's the thing that is really cool is that everybody's following along. Yeah, your voice is being read, if not popped up on the screen, and thanks for all the comments.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate that, man. I didn't realize you were still hanging in here, but yeah, man. Thank you, and absolutely.
See you, Fred.
Thanks, Fred, for coming in and hanging out while you were on vacation, man. We definitely appreciate that. You're always a great supporter to the channel, and we definitely appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. So thank you. Well, with that, what was that? I lost 1,495 followers my very first week. I worked so hard 5 years ago. Dang, man, that sucks to lose that much, dude.
Yeah,
man, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, not that I would quit if I lost all our followers. I'd start over again if I had to, because I mean, we're a business, so I think it would be important. But a double secret concur.
Look, I've got new phrases for work now.
Double secret concur.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Just make sure that you don't backhaul the flux capacitor to the rerouter.
Yeah. Did you see Joy's comment?
Negative.
Even her membership's been paused.
Shit. That's
paused and deleted. Yeah. So even if they restore, that might be a big challenge for them too, is to get all the members back.
Yeah, Jay, that's, man, my heart breaks
Oh,
for him.
Jay, not Joy. I'm sorry.
Jay, but you're blind as a bat, so I'll give you half
Yeah.
credit. You were close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when you said joy, I was like, "There's a joy in here."
Well, from this distance, it's joy, but when you put it up on the screen, it was larger. It's definitely J. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, my heart breaks for Lefty. I hope he can recover. I know I'm going to work on it some more tomorrow for him and see. I still have people that I've reached out to that I know in a couple different places, and maybe one of them knows somebody somewhere, right? So you never know who's in our networks.
Yeah.
So we'll dig through it some more tomorrow. Hopefully we get something with any stroke of luck. Lefty will get recovered on this one.
Yeah.
With that, we're approaching midnight, so almost 3 hours on here. Again, I was like, we'll probably go an hour and a half, but you know, hanging out with Rob was really cool tonight, and
Yeah.
he didn't stop us from chattering, so it was good times. But
Yeah.
if you haven't, one more time, like and subscribe. Do me a favor, please. We're a growing channel. We love you all and appreciate all the support. And hit that notification bell so that when we're dropping videos and stuff like that, that you're made aware of. And I hope you all appreciate the content that Chris and I put out and had fun with our lives tonight. Next week, we'll have Eddie Martinez from Orbital Knives with us, and we'll have another great conversation. We'll talk a little bit more about design, I think, next week with him. And that's about it. But to all, thank you. Happy hump day. Have a fantastic night. Appreciate you all being here. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Good night,
See you.
everybody.
Good night.